to the Gamegasm podcast. We put the O in radio. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy.
From the land of the gangbang, it's O'Brien.
God damn it.
This is like a running joke. Just random ass shit. I am Andrew. What's up, guys?
We're the Gamegasm podcast. Is that going to be your thing from now on?
I think it may be.
It's like a random
He's
intro.
like driving around. He's like,
Can you name that song?
I didn't even hear what you said.
From the land of the gangbang.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I am from the land of the gangbang. I'm a thug as all get out.
It is true.
I was the toughest kid in my cul-de-sac.
Indeed. You fuck those people.
Nobody
up.
I'm the king around Rancho Cucamonga.
That's my king around here.
That's awesome.
What's it from?
Why We Thugs?
Oh,
Ice
God.
Cube.
You should know that with your Ice Cube knowledge.
It's a newer one.
I don't. Oh, okay. That's why I don't
We're
know.
around.
Is that
Why We
one of his
Thugs.
movies?
No, I
This new movie.
His
Are we
actually
there yet?
sounds pretty good.
Are we there yet?
No,
too?
no, this
Or
song will
now,
not
or
make it
whatever
there.
it is.
Every hood's the same.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're so gangster, dude.
I am. I'm gangster, top of my list.
All
right.
Did you guys watch fucking football yesterday?
Actually, I didn't get a chance to.
The Cowboys.
I watched the night games.
You guys know I'm a Cowboys fan. Obviously,
yes.
You guys know.
No,
but
we never knew that.
Most of the fans probably do too because I talked about it before. The fucking Cowboys almost gave me a heart attack. They barely won their game, 24-23.
Yep.
Who were they playing again?
Redskins.
They were playing the Redskins.
Oh yeah, without
Deadskins.
they didn't have RG3.
They didn't have RG3.
No.
Well, they haven't had RG3 for a long time. Redskins, they've had like 3 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
no, it's just the last couple weeks.
And
Because
he's
that's
been
when
kinda
Shanahan
shitty.
said he wasn't going to start him.
oh,
And he's been
right.
kinda shitty
But he
because
was
he's on my
injured
fantasy
too
team,
throughout
so.
the year. But anyway, point being, they have to play the Eagles next year for a playoff berth.
Next
to
week?
to get into the playoffs.
It'd be exciting. You have
Yeah.
something to look forward to, at least.
No, because now Tony
Romo's
Romo
dead.
is out for the rest of the season.
Who's your backup?
I fucking don't even know.
That's a good sign.
Some random white guy.
Is it Kyle Orton?
Oh,
No.
yeah, it is Kyle Orton.
Oh!
Yeah, it is.
Actually, that's their worst. You could
That's
have
what-
you could have a worse.
I don't like Kyle Orton, but there's there's worse backups.
Point being, there goes my fucking... I don't care about football for the rest of the year. Not really.
Well, if they win, you get the fuck in. You never
if they
know.
win, if Kyle Orton can take us to a Super Bowl...
Or what happens is, as Kyle Orton comes in and wins you a couple of games, everybody's like, Romo.
It's about time for
Romo's
the Tony
out,
Romo
yeah.
experiment to go out the window.
Dude, he's a great quarterback.
Oh.
No, listen, you didn't let me finish. Can I finish? Can I finish? He's a great quarterback in the first 3 quarters. And in November, he's the highest quarterback rating and the highest producing quarterback in the month of November in football history. Why? I don't fucking know.
Good.
4 games.
I don't see the things.
Cool.
I'm not
He's
I'm
not
on your
great.
side. I'm on your side with the Tony Romo. I don't know if I'd call
Shut
him
the
great.
fuck up, Joe Montana.
Hey.
You're comparing him to your fucking history of
I'm
great.
calling him
I'm just
against
kidding.
great. I actually think he's really good, and I think he always gets a lot
Yes,
of undue
yes,
pressure.
that's exactly where I'm at.
Well, really good and great are almost synonymous. I didn't say he's
No.
fucking Hall of Fame or anything.
But to me, a great means you are probably going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe, but he's got a quarterback rating that's similar to all the great quarterbacks in the game right now, except for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has the highest quarterback rating.
It's interesting.
I'd imagine for the season that quarterback rating would be highest for Peyton Manning. I haven't looked, just because his stats are fucking retarded.
Yeah, this year Peyton's just stupid.
Well, we weren't counting this year because I looked at this stat like halfway through the year. But the
sure.
point being is that as of last year and out of all the people that are in the league right now, Manning was like 89.8 and Romo was like 89.6 or something like that. So, I mean, it's better than you would think. His quarterback rating is always good. He's just a fucking choke artist and he loses games for
What
us.
he'll do is he'll
And
get the
that's
playoffs.
the
And that's a
thing.
hidden stat that doesn't show in quarterback.
And he'll get the playoffs and he'll do something stupid.
No, he won't.
Well,
No, but he makes no.
if he does, if he gets in the playoffs,
He's
he'll
got a
do
little
something
brain.
stupid.
To me, I'm more of like a Brett Favre because he will make the fucking retarded throw that he should never make.
Yeah, but he's not as good as Brett Favre
well,
was.
fuck, no, he's not.
Because Brett Favre,
Was great.
well,
I know I'm not a Brett Favre fan. I think he's overrated. Always have.
Aaron Rodgers should have came in long before
Way
Brett
earlier.
Favre. Yeah.
Oh, he's a man. He's tough, dude. If I was fucking hopped up on OxyContin and Lortabs every day, I'd play every game too.
And
I
of
was like,
course he's tough. He
it
wore
wor-
Wrangler jeans under his outfit.
Yeah, that's
It
just
worked-
nuts.
it
Have got to
worked
be
out all-
strangled.
It worked out all right for Green Bay, though. I mean, they
would
went from a great
No, I
quarterback to
agree.
a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, cry me a fucking river.
No, I agree with that. I mean, after
Philip
Joe
Rivers.
Montana and Steve Young, it was. I don't dislike Jerry Garcia. It is San Francisco, right?
Event Horizon.
Yeah, right. No, but
Event Horizon.
Jeff Garcia, I don't mind him. He wasn't bad. He got kind of shat on there towards the end, but he was actually a decent quarterback. It just
Well, he was just gay.
As a
he's married to like a
I know.
Playboy playmate, but you know what I mean. Like, of course, we're playing tonight.
yeah,
I don't know what the score is. I didn't catch it, but
honestly I don't give a fuck.
I know you're towards the
We're
end
out
of
of
the
it.
line. No, you're not. If you win next week, you're in it.
In what?
You weren't going to win it anyways.
I know, that's the point.
You weren't gonna win the Super Bowl.
But you could maybe win a playoff game. You know,
Are
it
you
could be
talking
exciting.
about real football? I thought you were talking about fantasy football.
No, not real football.
Speaking of fantasy football,
I got shit on.
you and I both had like the first and third highest points in the league, and
Yeah,
we finished
this week I'm
fifth
probably
and
going to
eighth.
have the most points in the league.
And we finished fifth and eighth.
Nice, good job,
Think-
guys.
Out of
I
10.
always go back. Like, we're talking about this. I anymore think I like fantasy football more than I do fucking like fantasy basketball or baseball. But the problem is,
It's so random.
I had the best team.
Yeah.
I had the most points, so I had the best team. But I didn't perform certain weeks. I lost to fucking Dave's girl.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
It's just 2
God.
fucking wins.
Mhm.
I lost that week.
Mm-hmm.
That's
One of
pretty
those.
brutal.
One of those.
Yeah.
See, I had a very my
had a
draft was
good year.
solid. My draft was solid, and then I played about where I should. I lost games that I shouldn't have, but I won games that I also probably shouldn't have, and I got shit on in both my leagues in the playoffs. Just-
Jamal Charles.
I got
You put up 60 points. What do you do?
59 points
on
in your face.
both of my teams.
Yeah.
So in both leagues, completely different leagues, I get Jamal Charles in both of them. And
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
fuck my life. 60 points. Suck a
That's
dick.
retarded.
I had the highest scoring points in one league and the third highest scoring points in both. And to me, that really decides the quality of your season.
Agree. No, it does. It does completely.
Wins are what matters, but you drafted the better team or you picked up the better players.
So, question: How do you guys then feel? You would like it better if it was rotisserie? Versus,
No, because there's not the
it's
excitement
not
week to week.
It's not enough games for rotisserie.
Well, it's also
Fantasy
that's-
basketball is perfect for rotisserie because it's not baseball with
And- and for
160
those of you
games.
who don't-
baseball has to be rotisserie.
Oh, yeah,
and
but
for
I
those
mean,
of you
it's
who
too long.
don't know, rotisserie is kind of whenever you decide to do all the stats compilation at the end, and you get points for categories and that kind
Which
of thing.
I like rotisserie better stat wise.
Oh,
it wouldn't work in football.
It takes away. Oh,
Well,
hey,
hell,
then.
we're drinking beer, by the way. So
Yeah.
it's snuck up on me.
That chocolate wheat.
Chocolate wheat.
Gross. Tastes like coffee
I love
that
it.
had
Oh, it's
like
so
a
good.
dick rubbed
It's
through
good
it.
stuff.
If you guys get a chance, if you are of age, obviously the Shock Top chocolate wheat.
And let's be honest, if you're not of age.
We don't really give a fuck.
Well, no, but I mean, I guess
I'm not
yeah,
a
I
beer
don't really
commercial
care.
here.
Come on, Dad.
One quick side before we end the intro. I fucking hate all the commercials like drink responsibly. Why don't if I were a beer company, go, hey, get fucking lit
Yeah,
on
hey,
my
kids,
beer because
fucking
you'll buy
suck
more
this
of
bottle
it.
down.
Get fucking drunk as shit.
Yeah.
Just don't drive.
No, I will say,
Thank you.
don't drive because if you die, then you can't buy
But
more
why
beer.
not do that? Dude, I
It's-
don't need
it's
them
a
to
little
tell me
difficult to buy
that.
beer
I
when you're
think
dead.
that's fucking
Yeah.
stupid. We're being responsible. Well,
Don't play with guns and drive cars when you're drunk.
Yeah, if you're being responsible, you probably wouldn't make alcohol, but you do. So who gives a fuck? Fucking tell them just fucking smashed every day
Yeah.
off my product. Become an alcoholic because you'll
Please-
make me money.
Please God. That's
Drink-
like smoking. They're not like smoke responsibly.
Smoke responsibly.
This causes cancer is on the fucking side of the box. People
Yeah.
still buy the shit.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much alleviates all responsibility.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Put a this causes alcoholism on the
It
side.
may cause
There you go.
damage to this one may not have it. Most of them will have like during pregnancy. So don't get
Well,
fucking drunk. So you have
obviously,
fetal
I think
alcohol.
we're
Honestly,
safe.
if you need a label, a warning label to say, "Hey, don't drink alcohol during pregnancy,"
You're fucking. There's a
Yes.
label on fruit roll-ups saying don't eat the plastic.
that's so fucking.
I saw a
stupid.
picture online.
agree.
I saw a picture online that was on the side of a gas station thing, and it had a picture of a dude with the nozzle in his ass with an X.
Yeah,
through
I
it.
saw that. Yeah.
What the fuck? Who is putting gas nozzles in their
He's
asshole?
like, wait a minute, my car runs so much better on this high premium. It'll help me.
and not to be this fucking guy, but like behind all those fucking retarded warning labels, they're putting that are somebody somewhere.
did
There's
it.
there's a research department.
Yeah.
Well, there's a research department for each of these companies, and we're paying way more for these products because of the fact that there's these retarded ass warning labels.
Like the
on
hot
them.
coffee McDonald's, because back when that happened in the early 90s, somebody sued over it. Well, I didn't know
Well, you
my
know
coffee
what?
was
That
going to be
chick,
fucking hot.
that chick actually got like ridiculous burns on her thighs. Like
Well,
she's
I can't
one
help
of
it.
the
Her beef got burned, but
she's
it's
one of the-
fucking coffee, and you put it in your thighs, and
yeah,
you
but
drove.
it was hotter than coffee should be. It was seriously like something like 150 degrees or something like.
But is that McDonald's fault that
Ah,
you
yeah.
spilled
Well, they-
coffee on yourself?
No,
Don't put
but
coffee
they-
in your crotch.
They handed it to her with a loose lid. I'm not going to defend the bitch because I've never sued anybody for anything, and I don't think I ever will, just because my bad. I dropped piping hot coffee on my cock, whatever.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that that's one of the few that actually should have probably gotten money.
Yeah, I still don't agree, because it weren't like life-altering. It just hurt her for a while.
I don't know. Maybe her beef's scarred shut or something. She's like pissing out her asshole. I know a lot about
Well,
how
honestly,
the
but
female anatomy works.
But I will say, if you're pissing out of your asshole, I think you're gonna make up the lost money there because you're gonna be on some freak show.
That's going to be
TV.
pretty crazy.
Anyway,
All right,
let's move on to the mail sack.
mail sack.
Yes, my
Bill
sack
sack.
is heavy today.
Ho
Okay.
ho ho! O'Brien's mail sack.
Oh my
For Christmas, the Christmas sack is heavy with
This is
lots
gonna be
of
the
gifts.
last episode of the year, by the way.
Yes. We'll have this kind of a Christmas / New Year's Eve kind of feel to it.
Are we really? Is there a theme?
No,
I was like, is there
I
a
feel
theme
this
at
is
all?
more Christmas.
I'm not putting like Christmas sound effects in when I
No,
edit
there's no
this.
theme
No.
at all.
We should have brought lights.
Yeah.
And we're fucking wear Santa hats and shit.
Nope.
No.
No.
Fuck.
I'll wear a
I
Jimmy
like
hat.
Christmas. Fuck it.
Fuck that.
Okay, so we're gonna start this off here with an interesting question from Mason.
Mason.
Yeah,
Just Mason? Is that
just
it?
Mason. He gave me the last name. We won't use it, but he didn't use any of his,
okay.
screen name,
His
whatever,
mnemonickers.
jargon. Okay, so he wants to know what our opinions, obviously us, because he's asking the question to us.
No.
Well, he's not asking another podcast?
What do we think about emulators of older / newer systems? Now, I don't understand why you put the newer part of it in. You probably just own it. But what do you think about emulators?
Period.
And if we do use them, which ones do we prefer?
Whoa, that's rough. Because there's not like one company that makes a best emulator for
No.
every fucking.
And maybe you just want to know if there's a good like NES ROM or something like that for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do we feel about emulators in general?
Do you mind if I field first?
No, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I think you guys will have.
Son of
I
a
think you guys. I think you guys will have
I think
stronger.
all
opinions.
three have different views on this, by the way.
I think you guys will have stronger opinions. I feel like, obviously, I don't like taking money away out of people's pockets. You know, as far as like Nintendo and that kind of stuff, because you're essentially stealing games. It's kind of pirating without pirate. Is that? I mean, is that?
No,
I mean, you're talking
all the
about
games are end of life.
You're
Okay,
not going to
that's-
go
okay.
buy an NES game and Nintendo's going to make money now.
That's true, but
Oh, except for virtual download.
Yeah, but you.
and I
Wii
guess
consoles
that's
on
more of a side point to my
Yeah.
my problem anyway. I like emulators. They allow you, especially kids, 10, 12, 15-year-old kids who never got to experience, who aren't going to go back out and buy an NES. Because honestly, it may not be worth your time to go out and buy an NES, find games for it, buy the game, set it all up on a fucking, TV that may look weird on anyway because it wasn't designed for a plasma screen TV.
Right.
And it's just so easy to do. You can go and download. And when we're talking about games, we're suggesting that people much younger than us to play games that we grew up on, and that they may not realistically have a chance to go and buy a Nintendo and do all this shit. When it's easy for them to go online and download an NES emulator, an NES ROM, and at least get a feel. They may not get the. Because I know O'Brien. I know your argument will be to the degree of you don't get the original feel. You don't get the the sound effects aren't the same. They sometimes will replace different things, and I get that. But it's kind of doing what you can with the situation you've got.
Let me go second because I know that you're on the opposite of his argument, and I'll be in the
necessarily.
middle. I know.
Well, see,
where
I'm,
you-
I,
know where
I,
you're
am,
going.
I'm kind of in the middle because I do see that I don't agree with the fact that you do miss a lot of the experience with the controller because you maybe it's using a 360 controller at this point. You didn't get to hold the rectangle that was the fucking NES controller or the whole the Dreamcast controller, which had its own area code. I mean,
Any controller, period. I mean, there's really no. That's the main argument I have against emulators. First off, I'm all for emulating. I have all the emulators on my computer, and I think it's a convenience factor for me to not have a full separate room set up like O'Brien does, or
mouse
used to
room.
at least.
Yeah.
For
It's all hooked up. It's not in the room.
yeah, but I mean, not everybody has a room that's set up with 20 different systems plugged into TVs or accessible to plug into TVs. But it's hard to find a really good quality ROM when you get to like N64 generation and beyond. Sometimes the sprites are fucked up, the sounds are messed up, like you said, and you lose some. Like I downloaded the Smash Brothers ROM for N64, and I mean I've got my N64 plugged in, but just for a convenience factor to not have to have my TV on all that shit. Playing Smash Brothers on there, like some of the items are like tiny and you can't even see them, and the
I remember that.
computer's
Yeah, 'cause
picking
that
them
on
up and throwing
live
them, and
stream.
you don't even see them, and you're getting blown up by shit. So that's really fucking annoying. But the thing that I miss most about the emulators is the controller.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with an Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One or whatever controller you have, or some shitty one that you buy online. It's not the same. It doesn't feel the same, and you lose because we're nostalgic about these things.
Yes.
When you're playing, fucking Battletoads on a Nintendo,
it's weird to play it on a.
it's weird to play it on a 360 controller that's got fucking thumbsticks and shit.
And also, like with Smash Brothers, I mean, like the N64 controller is kind of a joke now, but that was a really cool controller back in the day.
Really designed. That game really took advantage of what it did.
Absolutely,
yeah, and so I mean, like, you can play it on a 360 controller, not lose a whole lot, but it's just you're not playing the game.
No.
in its
So
original
I know
format.
I've been kind of pitching out here as the guys who are going to be like, I fucking hate emulators.
No, that's
no,
not what I thought.
no, I don't.
I've emulated games for. When we rated some games back when we worked at the store together,
Yeah.
we did it on emulator because I couldn't bring a system in.
Right.
My thing is with emulators is that in general it becomes, well, I'm just going to emulate it instead of actually trying to go. Now, I'm not, and once again, The problem with what you said is a lot of the good games to emulate that would be hard to find or really expensive are terrible emulate. You're not going to get a good Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is an amazing game that you can go spend $300 to buy just the game if you even have a Saturn.
Right.
But like for a Nintendo, you can probably get it for a reasonable price and buy a lot of those games for $5.
Right.
I know it's more, it's investment, but you're getting an experience out of it. You're getting the original sound. You're getting a lot of the original part of it. And I just think that like that's lost anymore.
Well, the question is, though, again, I'm going to go back to...
If you can't do it, then I would always say to emulate so at least you experience it.
Well, the question is that... I'm going to go back to my dad argument. Would you rather have an entire shelf with a bunch of vinyl albums on it just to experience that sound? And this is a legitimate question. Or would you rather have an MP3 player that has all those songs on it and just have some earbuds?
Well, the difference is I'm carrying my music with me everywhere, so I don't want to carry vinyl because I can't put a record in my car.
But like most phones, you can install emulators on them, especially if they're jailbroken.
Yeah, but they're going to be fucking terrible.
Well, they're going to be better than
they're
nothing.
They're going to be tiny. At that point, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
For me, obviously, I want the systems because that's kind of like a hobby. That's what
that's where I knew you were going to go.
It's more of a collecting. It's a value. It's something you do and share and get into. And when we go back and play those games, it's hard to play shoulder to shoulder on a fucking emulator.
Yeah.
You're missing a lot of the experience of
right.
it. So I guess I'm always for it if there's no other option, price-wise. But otherwise, I always go for the original.
And real quick, and I want to clarify, would you rather pay $300 for Panzer Dragoon Saga just to get the original feel, or emulate kind of a moderately shitty version just to play the game?
Obviously, assuming cash is not of no option.
If cash is of no option, then I know what we're picking.
With kids and stuff, it's difficult, but...
Even if you were single and
I'd buy it.
$300 would be worth it.
It's Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Well, I mean,
that's
I
like
know,
a gym.
But you're a collector too, though.
Yeah, that's a gym.
I mean, if you
it's
weren't
also
a collector,
an amazing game.
If you weren't a collector just to play it, would you buy it for $300?
Probably not.
If you didn't have the system too, then you got to buy the system. You know what I mean?
But I really like Saturn.
Yeah,
and it's like the crown of Saturn.
So again, I knew exactly where we were going to be. You're more for it. I'm more right in the middle, and I knew you'd be further against it.
I don't think I'm as for it as you pigeonhole me as being.
You guys have both used the word pigeonhole.
I told you I used it because
you cocksucker.
You son of a bitch.
Okay,
no, I'm more in the middle to be honest.
So this next guy, he said we can call him Pit or Pitmazing.
Hey, I know a guy.
Yeah,
Pitmazing.
Yeah, Pittman is what he's coming from. So there you go. Okay, he's got a little 3-part question, pretty quick. So first off, he asks, why don't I come into Stream or Smite?
You used to play Smite.
I used to play Smite.
Yeah.
Right now I've been coming into work
12
every day, 12 hours a day. So that kind of limits that. But that would be something I'd like to do with you guys.
And 2
That'd
kids and a wife.
Yeah, all that, whatever stuff.
A giant dog.
So the reason I don't is because I haven't really played in a while.
He's gay.
It's not Smite. Yeah, there you
He's
go.
gay.
When was the last God released whenever you quit Smite?
Fuck, it was right when Mercury came out.
Mercury?
Really?
The fast one.
Okay.
Did you play Chronos?
Yeah.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was longer ago than that.
No.
Or maybe Mercury is just not as long ago.
So hopefully I can play Pitmazing. Second, when are we going to play Cards Against Humanity?
Oh,
He would like us to play that.
I think that would be fun to get drunk and play on
yes.
Maybe like as a bonus
Yeah.
bonus podcast or
Yeah.
something. We do little
Cards
can do
Against
that.
Humanity. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that. I mean, we've
We've been planning to do it on your channel and my channel for a while.
we were going to do it one time. My son was sick. We were going to do it another time, and Katixia didn't have her internet put in yet.
Katixia, you bitch.
You whore!
Son of a bitch.
So that's still coming, by the way, for
Yes.
my YouTube channel.
Yes.
For anybody who cares about that.
But we can all do it for us.
Yeah, but we can do it just us three.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
a fucking funny game, by the way.
And his third one is more of a general comment, but it was a formed in question. Isn't ass awesome?
Right?
Well, duh.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pit amazing.
It is pit amazing.
You guys both know I'm an ass man.
I'm more of a booty guy.
I was thinking he was going more just like getting some ass.
Oh, that too.
I don't know if he was
yeah.
actually saying ass. Yeah, I'm totally a tit guy.
Yeah,
100%.
see.
Asses are fine or whatever. I'm not Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Tits are just fat, though. At least the ass is like...
See,
And
I'm more,
asses aren't fat too.
Well, the whole body, I guess, is fat, but ass is more muscle than tits are.
I don't deal
That
with
depends.
I don't deal with fat
It depends
bitches.
on which chicks are you looking at.
You get some big fucking like you get like little A cups might be small in their ass. You like them A cups? I'm sorry.
I like some good A cups, man.
I'm sorry. I'm a tit guy. And I don't care what size. Tits are beautiful. They're like a
Yes.
sunrise. No matter what it looks like,
Like
they're
a
all
sunrise.
beautiful.
Are you serious?
No.
No, I'm just
Wait
saying
a
tits
minute.
are amazing.
All right, so tit amazing?
They're amazing.
So you're telling me that every breast in the whole world?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen some.
I was kind of
I'm not talking like some
JJ on that one.
fucking trailer dwelling.
I've seen some fucking like cue ball in a tube sock, National Geographic titties.
No,
and
I'm
those
not
are
talking about like the
good.
National Geographic ones that me and my cousin look at my grandpa's magazines for.
Yeah.
Try to find the naked Africans. That's not the ones I'm referring to. That's what, because that's what it was.
Guys, you're giving me a boner right now.
Exactly.
Be careful with
I
the
see
naked
him hiding
evidence.
it.
So ass is amazing. Thank you for pointing that out, Pippin.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to send us a question for the mail sack, it's the Gamegasm at Twitter. If you want to tweet us or Twitter us, as Amy would say.
That's right.
Twitter or
away,
you can send it. You can comment in the video, obviously, or you can send us an email at gamegasm.mailbag@gmail.com.
Before we get on to the hot load, as we
all up in your face.
dubbed it, there's something that I kind of wanted to address a little bit, just generally about the podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and it seems like one of the most overwhelming comments that we're having on the podcast is that we're not doing it.
No
video.
video.
Yeah.
And I do get that, is the fact that it's going
on YouTube.
It's going on your YouTube channel, so people on YouTube are expecting to see us live and doing something. But we haven't talked about this off camera too much lately. But I mean, that may be something we do an episode here or there of eventually.
Yeah.
But right now, our focus is on just getting the podcast out, getting it the format how we like,
and not
because it truly is a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Our goal for this is to get it on iTunes at some point.
Well, and just so everybody knows the inner workings, we are currently working on a website. So we're in development and graphic design for a website right now. That should be up and running. I have no clue when, but we're in the preliminary works in that. Once we get a website put together, we're going to start uploading these to the website. That will then upload it to iTunes. So,
and of course, we'll have our own YouTube channel if you want to listen to them from YouTube.
Right, and eventually we're going to upload these to a separate YouTube channel that's not Trendkill's YouTube channel, because this is not Trendkill's and Friends podcast. This is the Gamegasm podcast with 3 buddies that are all equal. So we don't want to keep it on my channel because we want to make a specific channel for the podcast. Right. So eventually these won't even be on my channel.
Yeah, this is just for mostly early exposure to let you guys know that this is the way we have an audience to start with.
And to let you guys know that it exists.
And then also, too, that way whenever we migrate it to another channel, that the people who want to listen to it can come over there and check it out and stay updated. Or if you guys if podcast is not your thing, then you can still and sit and watch.
We'll have some videos. Like, we'll have the Cards Against Humanity. We'll have some other bonus stuff in the works. But for the most part, those will be more addendums, they're little extras, bonuses. It's a podcast first and foremost.
I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that like every single podcast we put out, that people
somebody's
like,
hey, you should put some gameplay.
Yeah, we always talk about that. We usually talk before the show, but me and him had just said that before you got here.
Well, and also too, and suggestions for you guys who aren't maybe used to podcasts or used to not having video in front of you. Just play it on a second monitor or something like that whenever you're playing another game. Or your
first monitor, just put it in the background.
Yeah, just put it in the background.
Minimize it and play a game.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what this is designed for.
It's the point. A podcast is something that you put in your headphones or something while you're doing something else.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay,
so obviously we told you last week that we were going to cover what we would do if we were in a design team to create our, perfect RPG, I guess?
Yeah, a lot of questions for designing your own game, but the majority of them were asking about specifically an RPG.
And that's really where a lot of our focus is in general. We are all veteran RPG players.
We love them.
Yeah.
You guys played more Final Fantasy than I did. I know Andrew played probably more Shining Force than both of us. Well, at least his first Shining Force.
Yes.
Later on sequels, I'd probably say I played more. Like Shining Force CD or Shining Force 3.
Yeah.
But we play a lot of RPGs in general. So we're kind of taking this question from everybody's, just what if we're a triumvirate? We equally rule this video game company. We're making a game. What do we want to see in it?
By
what
the way,
are we going to do with it?
If anybody out there who has a lot of money and likes us and wants us to, would let us make
If you
want
to front us...
Like, a couple $1 million to make a video game. We'll make you a badass video game.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least we'll tell you how to make a badass video. I can't code that.
And I don't mean like send us a copy of RPG Maker 1, 2, or 3.
No.
That's not going to really fit the needs.
I said lots of money. I didn't say $30 extra.
Hey, some of the sequels are collectible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were.
Not a bad game.
No,
it was actually fun
to
stick around on.
But essentially we're doing that on a highbrow level right now.
So fucking shit. Where do we start? Character creation?
Start from the beginning. I think you're going to talk about the creation of the character and also probably the story behind it. What's motivating your game? What's bringing us into the
curve?
The culmination.
The culmination.
I think you need, for a storyline, wait a minute.
Let's stop.
Okay.
Not character creation. Let's start at what type of RPG? Jesus Christ.
Hey.
He's doing it. He's doing it just to show off his ringtone.
I'm sorry. I know professionalism reigns supreme.
No, not
actually,
on this
mine's-
podcast.
Now that I know yours went off.
Yeah, guess what, motherfuckers? Mine's already on silent. Suck a dick.
Oh, mine was too. Never mind. JK.
Right. Good job,
Anyway,
Brian.
so
No shit,
let's
right.
start at type of RPG. There's so many because Oblivion or Skyrim is obviously way different than Final Fantasy 2 or 3. They're both RPGs, but they're completely different styles of RPGs.
Yes, and I think like if we're picking, I don't know if once again we're having to come to this like a consensus. Once again, like I said, a triumvirate. I personally prefer to go more old school. I don't really want an Oblivion.
And I'm okay with that.
No, I am too. I could see some sort of a mixture in between there. I mean, I don't think we need. I don't know that I go complete turn-based, but I'd like to see, as we discussed before, I'd like to see more turn-based RPGs, old school in that regard. But I don't know that if I was creating the ideal RPG, that I would, definitely have it be that way. If that
I don't know if
makes
it's
sense.
ideal. It's more like our ideal.
Let's pause real quick. Is this a game that we would want to play forever, like the best RPG, or are we going for sales?
Oh, I'm going for just enjoyment for
Okay,
us.
because
Yeah,
if we're going for
honestly,
sales, the turn-based is never going to sell.
No.
Well, it depends
as good.
It depends what you tag on it, of course.
True.
If it's Final Fantasy
It's like
or something like that, you can
Call
have
of Duty
brand.
Ghosts, strategy game or something
And
like
you
that.
can think about like what I would not say take from Oblivion, but you could take the more broader quest lines, things like that. But to me, I would really want a turn-based, more of an old school thing. But most importantly, I would draw to is a story.
Yes.
I want it to be first and foremost an MA game. I want to be mature.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't, and I
yeah.
don't want to say like a manhunt, gratuitous, violent mature. I'm wanting it to be a real adult level game. Like, do you remember when we played Vey? There's unlike Final Fantasy 2, which I remember that was pretty crazy when people died in Final Fantasy 2. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, but they all came back in the end,
Right.
Which kind of eliminated
Spoilers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Palmaporum don't really turn to stone. When in Vey, there's a little elf called Pottle, and he dies in a cutscene, and he
Yes.
doesn't come back.
Yeah.
He just gets fucking
He's just dead.
he gets ghosted by the fucking main bad guy, and you're like, holy shit, that guy really fucking died. A real adult where people die.
Suikoden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck was his name? Who died? Gremio. Was it Gremio?
No, Gremio. Well, yeah, but Gremio came back too if
but
you had all the
yeah,
characters.
but he died, and most people who didn't have a strategy guide aren't getting 108 characters.
No,
Well,
God, that's
somebody else
brutal.
died. Gremio sacrificed himself for you so you could get out of the
For the bugs or whatever.
parasite or whatever.
Which is really weird because could have just unlocked the door or whatever.
Yeah, and that was actually kind of brutal because he was
Yeah.
talking to you as he was dying.
But like we just replayed. The reason we know this so vividly is we just.
Well, I remember that for my whole life.
But I didn't remember it as much as you did. But we replayed Suikoden recently, and he died, and it's just like it was so brutal how he died, and so
Yeah.
and it was like a big
Flesh-eating
deal.
parasite or virus or something like that.
Yeah, and he like sacrificed himself so that you guys could get out, and it's just you need something, a mature thought like that.
Well, and I honestly, I cannot stand movies, music, video games, whatever, that when somebody dies, they're like, darn it. Nobody in the whole fucking world would say that.
I know you said a Final Fantasy VII reference, but
Yeah.
when the chick dies,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
holy fuck.
yeah. When
That's
Aerith,
a big,
yeah.
Aaron died. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it has to only be about the character's death. I'm just saying, like, maybe
You have to
a
get
darker,
attached, yeah.
grittier kind
Yeah.
of world. A world of more, not saying more violence, but just more adult tones. That's the thing that all those old school games kind of miss because they kind of game up more
And then-
like in the golden age of video games where you didn't have as many naughty things.
Think of like the tone, not the style, the tone of a graphic novel.
Yes.
Something like that.
Exactly.
And I mean, you got to think when Aerith, like you were saying, JJ, whenever like Aerith dies or whatever, and there's this big cinematic thing. The cinematic was really cool in Final Fantasy VII, but if that were a real game or a real mature game, you'd be like, that motherfucker right there. I mean, it would
I'm gonna
just
go
be,
kill that fucker or
Yeah,
something
it's-
like that.
And then you have to
Yeah,
do it without
some
being
coarse
cheesy.
language.
You have to.
Yeah,
You have
coarse
to
language.
deal. You have to do it without being cheesy. You can't be like that motherfucker.
You can't. Obviously, it's got to be written as well as something like, and it's a completely different writing style, but it's got to be written as well as something like Borderlands was written.
Yes.
The original Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was good, but the original Borderlands, the actual writing and the comedy and the humor of it was well done. It was over the top, but it wasn't too over the top
But it
where
was
it was
witty.
cheesy.
But it
and
was
it was
witty.
witty.
It needs to be like a movie.
Yeah, it needs to be,
You
maybe
need to be
even graphic novel style.
You need to be attached to it. And that's the thing about that I want, because I used to get attached to those. I think the reason we nostalgia on so much on those guys, those old fucking games, is because the story, we got so attached to those fucking characters. And even the bad guys, like Kefka, we think about him because he had so much, when he killed fucking the Emperor, that was a huge deal.
Or when he poisoned the fucking river.
Oh yeah, and he just
Who
killed
poisons
people.
rivers?
Yeah, just kill people. And that's the thing, like, you need to have that arbitrarily evil guy, but you need to have characters, whether it be for you or against you, that are very involved and you get attached to.
Yes.
Yeah, unique characters that you love and hate. And I think that in a game
And
like
hate is almost stronger than love.
Oh, it is. It's a much stronger emotion in video games.
If I hate somebody and that dude does something that, bests me in some way, I fucking can't. I burn inside.
Well, and more like, unlike a Skyrim, where Skyrim's just kind of like you have an idea of the storyline, which is good, but you're not so invested because there's so much other stuff to do. You don't really develop that hatred for everything that's going on, or that drive to just be like, all right,
so
fuck
many
this
quests,
guy.
many things going on. You're
it's not the things that's going on. It's not the so many things that bothers me. It's the fact that Alduin did not really have a big part in the main quest line.
No.
I never really was like, oh, Alduin, I'm gonna fucking kill you, because I didn't give a shit.
He's another dragon.
Yeah, he was another dragon out of 4,000 that I saw playing the game.
And who really cares who rules fucking?
And I liked Skyrim. I liked it a lot. I liked Oblivion more. I liked probably Morrowind more than that. But it had its faults, and it was simplified for the masses. And and everybody's heard me complain about that in the past on my channel and stuff. And I can't stand that. I can't stand that every dungeon was Draugrs, that every dungeon was a
So
Dwemer
basically,
Ruins.
what we're getting at here is that the storyline has got to be the central focus of the game. Now, I'm all about having side quests.
It's a fucking RP. It's a role-playing game.
Yeah, and
I need to get into a role, and there's got to be a story.
If you're going to build a house,
find a role.
you need a foundation.
Yes.
And to me, before you even worry about how the game's going to play out, we need to have what's its center, what's it about.
So you're going to have a mature, very adult-oriented storyline, and that's going to be ever-present.
Yes.
But I still think there should be some deviation where you can get off on your side quests and find secret things.
I'm all for sandbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sandbox, but you can't be like a Skyrim where you throw you out there and just say go, and then you happen to fight dragons.
And you get
Because then
lost.
it doesn't matter. It's more about completing the quest and killing random people and stuff like that. Because that doesn't even really make you evil. You're just doing stuff.
Right.
There's no real story to you. You're just there.
And there's place for those kind of games, and obviously Skyrim did very well, and it was a very fun game to play. But I think in our ideal RPG, we want something more that like a completion. Because whenever you complete an RPG, it's like finishing a book.
Yeah.
I mean, you want that sense of completion, that sense of like, I saved everything in the history of things.
And the thing about the main character is like in that one you're creating it, but in most really good old school RPGs, you actually don't. You're not the main character, but you feel like you are.
Right.
That's the idea of an RPG. Go back to that pen and paper feel. In reality, you're making a character that's not fucking you, obviously. Not look like you. You're not
fucking you. I hope the main character.
I hope
not.
Then I want a main character that fucks me.
All right, done. Let's do that.
There you go. But
I guess we are playing girls then. So
yeah, exactly right. You want a
Not
character
me.
that you get
whoa.
you get attached to, and then you want to take along. That's what you take with that character with you after the game.
Yeah, and I'm all for the main character being the focal point of the storyline. That doesn't bother me.
No,
that
not at all.
much. But to me, I think we've kind of answered our first question. The first step is to create an adult-oriented story,
And a good one.
That's
Dark.
going to draw me in and not be too open to the fact that I can do whatever I want. I just want to point out one more thing about Skyrim. The main thing that everybody always used to say when I was like, I don't want to beat the main storyline. Everybody's always like, one does not simply beat Skyrim. That's a problem.
yes.
If I beat the main storyline, it should say, congratulations, you win, credits roll. Would you like to continue?
Yes, like a million games before
Yes,
did.
it shouldn't just be, you beat Alduin.
Yeah. I mean,
dead silence, right? Like,
I mean, okay.
Oh,
You got my point.
Now
you
go,
beat Civ, and it's like, do you want to play a few more turns?
Yeah,
Things
exactly.
like that, where you can keep going afterwards with your amazing power. You don't have to go from there or whatever.
But I think character creation.
Character creation would be the next thing. I've got my story. I know where my character falls in that story. How much can I develop that character?
And the only thing about that is, if you're doing it just for the main character, I'm okay. The problem is, when you open it up to every character, you get to the Final Fantasy VIII and beyond problem, where every character is a vanilla. I personally like characters, a wizard, a warrior, a barbarian, a tank, a healer. Or
Absolutely.
I like defined roles for the characters you grab.
You know what I think would be interesting? And see if you can wrap your heads around this. If I create a character, and that character, I want to play a warrior. I want to play a mage. Whatever I decide, the character that I create, then the characters that are generated that are...
They fill your roles.
That would be
fill
very
the other
easy to do,
roles.
I would
Yeah.
think.
So that would be something that would be, one, already innovative, because nothing else does that to my knowledge.
No.
Two, it would be... it would give me more... Like, if I'm going through my third playthrough of it, I know... you don't ever get a really good healer, so I need to make that healer.
Exactly.
So-
There's lots of games that do
We're
that.
trying
Yeah,
to avoid
exactly.
min-maxing.
Yeah,
or if you want to play a warrior and then like the first guy you get's a warrior, then you've got two warriors and you're the first 2 hours of the game suck because you've got 2 warriors and you have no one to heal you or something
Right,
like
exactly.
And you'd also have to write a story that would be open to your class. Because, I mean, if a warrior's background and this background, you'd have to either have a couple different openings.
And they could write a story around that. They could write a story that never really defines your history, or they could have predetermined histories that are...
And your class is irrelevant.
Yeah, that are banned. They could, like, say, you create a mage. Okay, well, here's one of 30 histories that we created that fits your character the best.
Cool. Yeah.
And that would work.
I don't think it'd be that difficult
It'd be
to
a
do.
prologue.
No, not really.
You know what I mean? That would be an interesting way to do it. But as far as character creation, how deep is too deep? How deep do you want to be? Because again,
It's never too deep.
Well, and I don't want to keep picking on Skyrim, but Skyrim character creation, I think, spent way too much time on the actual physical character. I don't give a fuck what I look like.
Fucking sprite, just make them all look the same.
I don't
Sprite
care.
is
Now,
retarded.
if that's an easy thing to implement, I don't know how difficult that is to implement on the back end of
It's
things.
probably easy now because it's all developed.
But and if you want to put that on there, great. But I don't think it's because
you see yourself from the back the whole game.
Who gives
I
a
don't
shit?
want to fuck with my face.
I played with it for a second. I'm like, I don't care. I'll be a fucking orc with teeth out of my fucking lips.
You're
I
The
don't
never
only
gonna be
thing
great.
is, with all these extra characters you're kind of involving, you're almost leaning towards a turn-based game.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
At that point,
either turn-based or
your sprite doesn't
tactical.
really matter.
But I think we've already, you guys specifically, want a turn-based game, and I don't care because I like all
or
RPGs.
a strategy. I would be okay with the strategy.
But to
turn-based
me,
as well.
when you get too far outside of turn-based, it becomes almost like an adventure game, a first-person adventure game.
Yes, I
Kinda.
agree. Because I mean, Skyrim leans almost more towards that hack.
So
and
does
slash
Oblivion.
thing.
So does Morrowind.
They
I mean,
do.
they both have Morrowind elements, but you're a first-person. It is an RPG.
I think
Yeah.
by the definition of what we're trying to do here, by creating a party system, because we already said we want a party, which I just had a thought that's really good. We'll come back to later. But we're trying to create a party system here, so therefore you almost can't do a first-person type of game because then how do you really have I mean, you could set some sort of AI, but that's not really that fun. I like being able to control each of your.
Okay, here's the thing: turn-based or more like a tactical game, because I greatly prefer tactical,
You mean like a Final Fantasy Tactics?
like a tactic game,
Like a Shining Force.
Or-
I fucking love those. So
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, I'm open to either because the thing I like about the tactical game is you can then have a lot more characters in your party.
And I like the point
Yes.
that it doesn't with a regular turn-based 3-person front back row whatever. It feels like I'm going. Boop, 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 boop. I'm just clicking through the buttons to attack,
Yeah.
attack,
Oh,
attack,
yeah.
attack.
And also too, you always get away from using your magic against.
Yeah.
You know, like normal enemies. Like I don't want to use my fire spell. You know, against
I
the
need to
waiting
save the
boss.
points.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you get more into the saving items than using them, which is good. You know, to ration your items at the same time. Then you get like at the end of the game, you've got 53 elixirs left, and you're like, "Fuck, I should have used one."
And it feels more epic too.
Well, and the point is that you're actually in the goddamn battle.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know you're in the battle with the other way too.
Warsong. That is
Yes,
one
yeah.
where the battle. First off, your every little guy unit was actually a general who had a unit of troops. So it was really more like hundreds of guys fighting hundreds of guys.
Like
which-
romance.
Yeah, and it was really fucking cool, and it made the battle feel like an actual battle. Because the thing about sometimes about turn-based, it's like if I'm really fighting this evil general who has an Empire army behind him, is it really 4 guys fighting 4 guys?
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Is there really a final boss? A final
Yeah.
boss? You know.
Because even in Dynasty Warrior, you may kill 200 guys, but your soldiers kill another 5,000.
Right.
You know, where it's not just killing a few guys, it doesn't feel like that epic nature.
Right. So are we?
I think I
I
agree
think
with you.
we're leaning towards the strategy.
It's
The-
like the
the-
strategy tactical
The
RPG.
Tacticus. Okay.
Yeah.
The Tacticus.
And you can have other. You can still have side quests really easy from that.
Yeah,
Whether
I
you
mean-
find a gang of thugs or brigands or whatever, you can
And-
easily riff off that.
Okay, so here's another question. What's the setting? And I know we're all going to answer this the same way. Are we sci-fi? Are we guns? Are we medieval? What are we?
I'd prefer medieval.
Me too.
Medieval, maybe with a little bit of like gun
Steampunk.
technology,
Like
steampunk, maybe.
Maybe.
But
Honestly,
if
I
you-
don't even
if you
let
just-
that
if you
slide.
just
I
want
think I want
just swords and bows and
Sword, shields, bows, magic. I'm good.
rocks and clubs. you
Yeah,
know?
fucking catapult. I mean, if we could, there's an infinite amount of things you could do because
Yes.
there are tons of medieval weapons that are never put into video games.
oh yeah,
Torture devices and all kinds of shit that could somehow be put into a game.
Yes.
yeah.
Somebody's attack could be like a guillotine or something, like their finishing move or something. You know what I mean? Like
That's the fucking
You know, a
guillotine.
wrestler had that in the guillotine.
I think
I
that,
don't
I think it's just
fucking
like a
know.
normal
Wasn't it the
wrestling.
Rings of Saturn or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
The rock bottom.
But the rock bottom, Jesus Christ. So we agree, it's a medieval setting.
Yes.
Bows, arrows, elves,
Magic.
dwarves, that kind of
Magic,
Obviously,
shit.
course,
magic.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
have magic.
Oh yeah, you gotta have magic. So okay, here's another question: and I'm just coming up with this. I'm just gonna fucking lead this topic, I guess. Are we rock paper scissors? Anything goes. Rock paper scissors being mages are better against.
I know in a strategy game it works well.
Yeah.
Your archers take out your magic users take out your hard hitting guys, and your hard hitting guys take out the archers or whatever.
Does that matter?
I don't really think it matters because to me,
I don't think you should make it like just weak because as far as like, oh my god, I get hit with magic, so therefore I take like 3 times damage. I don't think you do it that way, but
like blank is weak against magic.
No. I mean, you may have a specific character. I don't think you go the rock paper scissors. I think you do. Everybody's got their own unique thing. Maybe you have this great warrior, who him specifically, not the warrior class, but this warrior specifically is so just
maybe
devastating.
Mage Slayer or something.
Well, yeah, and or maybe he takes extra damage from magic because he's that much of a pussy in that regard, but he fucking just murders everything else.
It's about a story.
What about rock paper scissors in magic itself? Fire beats water, water beats.
That doesn't bother me. The elemental stuff doesn't bother me.
It doesn't really bother me, but I also don't feel that it's necessary either.
You don't care.
I will die the same from somebody freezing me a block of ice, setting me on fire, or being hit by lightning.
Well, I mean, but if you've got say one of your characters is an ice golem or something.
To be fair, you're not a hero, and you probably die from a golf club or something.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I agree with the ice golem, but it's like.
But he should take more damage from fire than he would ice.
That's
honestly,
fair enough.
That stuff bothers me whenever
it doesn't happen.
When you're like, I'm an ice golem, but I take the same amount from
like Hebo fighting Agni or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, Smite's a little bit different, but yeah, but I agree.
But yeah,
in the traditional RPG,
I'm fine with it on some points, but I don't like the traditional archers beat this guy.
No,
because then all you're doing is stacking those guys, and it takes some of the. I guess there's strategy to it, but there's not as much.
But then also you get the one battle that's got like all the archers, and then you're like, and then it just becomes.
God damn, my party isn't ready for this. Yeah. Well, here's a question: what if you can change your party in and out? Depending on the fight.
Well, if you do that, most of them.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So, what if you could prepare for that rock? Do you still care or not?
I want it to be
cheesy
difficult.
Mechanic.
It is.
Other than just
so what? So we're saying you can't change your party?
I don't really like the games. I don't know why they do it. I don't really like having a roster. I want every person in my party to fight every battle, because otherwise.
What about like a Suikoden where you have like 80 people?
I'm going to use tactics or even Shining Force. You get a certain group of guys that you use every fucking time. They get power leveled, and then you just raffle stomp the game.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like that every guy has to be a part of it. Otherwise,
that makes sense. That's actually a really good point.
Their story falls out of line as well.
And there's always the best guys.
Oh, there's always the best guys.
And are we trying to avoid min-maxing?
I think we should.
Because I want to play a game different every time. The problem is, going back to Elder Scrolls or something like that, archery and sneaking around is the best. It always fucking will be, and there's no way around that. You can be a good warrior, but I will still kill you. You can't get to me. You won't see me. I shoot you in the face. You're dead.
And you get like 7 times damage and stupid shit. Yeah.
So we're trying to avoid min-maxing.
Yes.
Okay. So I agree with you 100%.
Share experience in a way.
The problem is that our game will not be insanely replayable. Except that your main character will change some of the things. Well, here's the thing with me, and it's going to sound weird to say, I'm more than okay with that. Mm-hmm. I don't need Skyrim to play it 50 fucking times.
Well, keep in mind, we're creating our ideal RPG here, so we're trying to make the game the best one time through. We're not really focused
honestly, that's fine with me. I think if I get 50 hours out of a game and it was an amazing experience, I don't need to get... How many games can I play? You know what I mean? I'm playing this one game.
Right.
I think sometimes new
replayability doesn't necessarily matter.
There are games that it works out well in.
Action adventure games and
strategy games are very important. But I don't think that it's that important.
No.
If you're making a good one-time
it's a story.
experience...
It's a book.
Yeah, not every movie I want to watch every fucking day. Doesn't mean it's not a great movie.
But 5 years later, you may watch it again.
Exactly.
5 years later, you may read the same book again.
Like, I go back and play those old RPGs, but I couldn't do it over and over and over again. But I like to do it every now and then, remember that game.
So, story is extremely important to us.
That's by far our number one thing we've mentioned.
Yeah.
Now here's something else, too, that I was kind of going... that I kind of was alluding to earlier. What about multiplayer?
And now, here's the thing. I'm all for multiplayer.
Because RPGs don't have multiplayer, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, more RPGs need to have multiplayer. Let me say that.
Turn-based and tactical-based RPGs don't have multiplayer.
No.
I would like to see a tactical RPG, honestly, that you could almost play online
against.
and against, but with and against, or against, and or. And I would like to be able to have 5 different people that I go into the battle with. You go in with another 5 people. You fucking control your 5 people. Yes. I control mine. We're talking on, whatever voice communication we decide to talk on, and we have to decide, where do you want me to move this guy? Do you think I should move this guy here, or where do I go?
That's kind of what we started to do with that Shining Force Online.
Yeah.
It's whenever we like the 12 battles we got in. I was like, hey, I'll do this. I'll move this.
Yeah, I'll trap these guys here, and you pincer them this way.
Yeah, and you were using all the same characters, which is a little bit flawed. But if we had our own game that you were able to do that for me, or me and you were sitting next to each other playing, you could designate me to have 5 people and you to have 5 people. And
right.
then, I know me controlling them versus you controlling them isn't a big deal because we are probably going to make virtually the same moves anyway.
Right.
But it gets you more into the experience.
And look, I think it would be important to allow for multiplayer to have drop in and out.
Yeah.
If say there's a 10-person battle, 2 people each have 5, 3 people the host has 4, the other 2 have 3. 4 people the host has 3, everybody else has
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So I think the competitive part of it's the more interesting aspect to me because it's like you don't rarely ever see that, and you can actually do it. And since we're avoiding min-maxing, and as long as we balance it well, it would be really about who's making the correct strategy. It would be really neat that way.
And here's a question. Too many times, PvP just doesn't matter. I beat you.
Yeah.
Yay, I got 1 in my win column. What do you gain from beating somebody in PvP? I almost think, and this is brutal, but I almost think that you should get something from them.
Like loot?
Yeah. Like
you should steal something.
In old Magic the Gathering, they had cards.
Annie.
You would put up a card for Annie. If you won, you took that person's card.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do items or something like that. It's like pink slips or something like that. You're giving items or something like that.
If I lose, I want to feel that defeat. If I win, I want to feel that victory.
It could be money. Well, not like obviously virtual money, but money in the game or something. There could be some a tangible effect. I like that.
And you could have, say, do you want to play a money game, an item game, a character game? I mean, you could steal a lot of things.
Yeah,
like
take prisoners.
Or I beat that person so bad they decided to join my side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This guy's a pussy. You destroyed him.
So we're saying this is as a PvP kind of thing, as an offshoot,
a side multiplayer
it's a side
thing.
Okay, yeah. Because you couldn't really integrate.
Now, you're not talking about an MMO style where everybody's walking. Okay, yeah,
negative at all.
You're talking about a specific challenge mode.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
yes. Believe it or not, kind of like Karsha. You could do that with Karsha. You could bring like your memory card and bring
really
your
any
list.
card game ever.
Well, it was actually a tactical RPG.
Right.
All your powers were cards. It was more like Final Fantasy Tactics. It wasn't really a card game.
Okay.
Just your powers were cards.
Right.
But you could fight.
Like Persona.
Kind of. You could fight people. Just like you would.
Come fight me.
Yeah, and that's what you do. You'd fight and do your strategy and whatever. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we got
the battle system.
Yeah.
We got character creation. We got story.
No, now with the character creation, how customizable do we want the character?
We didn't actually finish the character creation.
Do we want like super amounts of specialization, just like a Skyrim or something like that, or do we want to go something, or do we want like crafting? Because I mean that'd be unique in a strategy RPG.
I think
it becomes min-maxing a lot of times.
Yeah, it goes back to doing too much side stuff. I think personally, as long as I've got a good story I can follow, a good battle system that's fun and engaging, and a good character creation where I can feel like I am my character, or at least that I created my character, like I'm God and I made this person, that's the 3 most important things that, to me, at least. However, a simple leveling system is good. Too simple is bad. But too complex is also bad.
It's retarded.
It's no fun because I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
And that's the one thing we haven't really tackled yet.
I want to feel like I'm min-maxing even though I'm not. I want to feel like I'm making a warrior. I've got 20 stats. These are, obviously, I'm not going to pick magic. I'm not going to pick healing. I'm not going to pick blah, blah, blah. So I've got 8 stats. This is where my points are going to go.
And then also maybe like a branching system to where you can go, your warrior, gets a promotion status or something like that. You can go
all 4 promotions.
And maybe even a branch promotion. You could become a samurai, or you could become a tank or something.
I'm not against the perks. One, I feel like it's
not a perk,
but no, not perk. Like the trees. That's like the go-to thing in RPGs now. Whether it's
I don't think he's talking about trees.
I'm more
he's
like
talking about branching, as in
like
you get a promotion.
Yeah, but I mean, are you just picking a promotion?
Like say your main guy's a warrior, and then you can go to a berserker. Or you can go to a guardian.
I like that idea, but I was thinking of maybe using a form of job points. Not like tactics, because believe it or not, tactics really came from the real Final Fantasy II.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the one that we played, but the one that actually was. And it was
Japan.
Yeah, it was a way to really work that in there. and I was just not saying, obviously not copying it, but using some way of that you're using abilities, you're leveling up certain, because they don't really use abilities, you actually earn points and buy abilities. So what if you use certain abilities, like say you as a warrior, you're always using your defense, or always using your attacks.
Then you kind of become a
you
tank.
kind of over time
like that
build
better.
that.
I do too.
I like that better.
It's kind of like the Skyrim. You level up what you use, but in a way you kind of morph into that.
But it allows you then to get, okay, now I'm going to become...
Now I qualify for this promotion.
I'm offensive, I'm always doing this, and I'm always going for like the biggest axe, when all of a sudden I'm a berserker.
Right.
And now I've got these abilities, and then maybe I could then back off or whatever, and you could keep hybriding it, so there's no real definition. It never ends.
I
You're
like
always
that
evolving.
way more.
I do too.
Same idea, different way to do it.
That's
Yes.
why it's good to have this triumvirate.
Yeah. I do want to make one thing. One thing that I think Skyrim and Elder Scrolls period did right is the guilds. I really like side quests and allowing me to specialize in a certain way. The thing I think they did wrong,
You can be in all of them.
I don't want to join the fucking Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild and the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood and the fucking Bards, college. I don't want to join them all.
It's
You
more
shouldn't
about-
be able to.
But it's more about doing quest than actually experiencing the
Yes.
quest. That's what
Yes.
those games are about.
And
And,
that-
for
and
me,
that
if you
would-
join one,
And that
That's-
would actually add a little bit of replayability to our
Yeah.
game that we didn't think was going to have any.
I'm sorry, your stats don't qualify you for the Fighters Guild. Well, fuck. I'll join the Mages Guild.
yeah.
Now, I think that's good, but decisions
See, I think
are
let's-
important.
But maybe go less about guilds and more about like factions. I'm just thinking
Well, I
more
don't care what it
story-driven
is.
things.
I don't
I'm with
care
you.
what it is. I want decisions. I want, if I make decision A, decision B's fucked.
Yes.
If I make decision 1, decision 2 is gone.
We got this fucking playground of new RPGs where it's like, oh, everybody wins. You can go back and abandon that quest and pick up the other quest, and you
Yeah,
can do
everybody
everything.
gets a trophy.
Everybody
It's
gets a blue ribbon.
No, you can't kill people and then be a paladin.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
fuck
can't
up
be a
and people
mage and a
die,
warrior.
they're
If
gone.
if I have 90 destruction magic, I shouldn't be able to join the fucking Fighters Guild. Why can I do that?
I'm a mage.
Yes.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But you're really good with swords too.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that. I mean, I understand you level up anything you want, but it's kind of just.
Well, and if you want to make a hybrid class, be a fucking hybrid class.
But
You
you're
wanna
not
make
going to be
If
the
you-
best either.
If you want to make a jack of all trades, fucking do that. Fine. You might qualify for the Fighters and the Mages Guild in that playthrough, but you're gonna suck.
and you can only do one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a nil kind of thing. So I think we're really what we are all wanting is the spirit of what a game once was to us, an old RPG, but using some of the things that you see now.
The quality of life
And
stuff.
I
the
don't
newer
yes,
stuff.
and I don't even care if it's old RPG graphics. If
Honestly,
you
I
could-
could care less about the graphics.
I don't either, but if you could make the most beautiful graphics and the most
Awesome.
beautiful fights
That-
and
that's
explosions,
nice.
cool. That's just a bonus to me.
Exactly.
But I don't care about it.
you focus so much on that part of the engine. I care much more about the sound because that draws me in a lot more than the fucking graphics.
Quests, story are way more important.
Yep.
Characters.
World design is way more
Yep.
important. I want to be able to feel immersed in my world,
And then if you put out a sequel, keep it in the same world.
Yes.
Act as if you're a part
Don't
of
act
the...
like it's a completely different thing.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I didn't. I honestly, that's the
Final
one thing
Fantasy
about
2,
Final
3,
Fantasy.
4, 17, 14.
The
it doesn't
only
matter.
two Final Fantasies that really 1 and 2
Yeah.
were sequential.
And then they're like,
you-
we don't give a fuck.
And then like the chicks, the X series, those got sequential.
Okay.
For a couple. That's it. And I was like, we're just gonna switch the whole fucking world. And I was like, that.
So you, at this point, you could have Final Fantasy 96 in the exact same world, and you could have this whole big. All of your old parties could be in the lore. Cecil the Paladin could be somebody who's got statues erected to him, fucking in Baron
well, the
Castle.
problem is-
Everybody remembers the great people that died before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that old Disney feel where, well, you save the world, so the world's fine forever. I don't like that.
Right.
That's not realistic. I don't think that there's ever a winner or loser. It's a very gray area, which that goes more to the
Everybody
story.
gets a ribbon.
Making it very gritty and kind of, you win, but you're not winning 100%. It's always like a 70% victory, or you
So,
get
so,
this or
so
that.
let's recap. Because I think we've
I think
Very
we got
quick.
it. I think we got this gym.
So, starting off, deep story, not held by ratings. We want a mature game.
Yes.
not cheesy mature, but
No,
but
we
mature
want-
appropriately
We want
mature.
natural mature.
Yes.
We want cursing when it's acceptable and when it's necessary. We want blood and gore when it's necessary, not over the top. We're not trying to fucking be Manhunt here. And we want it to feel the style of a graphic novel.
It should this game
The grittiness, the
it should
drawn
impact
in.
you. You should be drawn into this game.
I want, if it's sad part, I want you to cry. If it's a happy part, I want you to laugh and feel good about yourself.
Yes.
If
Intense?
if it's an intense part, I want you to feel like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, when
and
a
if
twist is thrown, you feel that. It's in that Shyamalan on your ass.
And if it's a scary part, I want it to almost feel like a horror part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should impact you in some way. Character creation, we want it to be deep enough, but not too deep where it's stupid. not too shallow where it doesn't fucking matter and you can make anybody vanilla where, how every character's the same.
Roles.
Characters are the same. In that same token, our characters are defined at the start and everything else is built around them. Would be really cool if that could happen.
And you can kind of not specialize, but kind of grow as you kind of want, but within your realm of your class.
Yes. Battle system would be tactical. Would also have a multiplayer where you can play co-op or challenge another party 1v1, however you want to do. Not 1v1, I guess it would be 10v10 or whatever the party decides.
One person versus one person.
Yeah, one person.
You could have multi, 3 people, 4 people. You could have co-op against the people. You have all kinds of like guilds, clans.
There you go.
And the last thing I want to touch on: the bosses have to be epic.
Yes.
And I want to shout out to World of Warcraft. Every time you saw a boss, you're like, "Fucking shit, we got to figure this out." That's how it should be.
And also, they should be people that you think, go back to the storyline, they should matter why you're killing them. They shouldn't be some random guy like, oh, he's just a big foot soldier. Let's kill him.
That's something.
Here is X robot.
It should be hard. That's the one thing we haven't really talked about. It should be a hard game where you can, when you say whatever, you might die. You may not succeed. Also, the AI needs to be good.
Yes.
That's the problem with most strategy RPGs. After a while,
you can figure out the AI and then you can kind of play against it.
Or if somebody's weak, they're like, well, I'll go attack this person. Why didn't you get the kill?
Yeah.
Things like that.
So, there you have it. You guys, this will be fun. You guys name our RPG.
There you go.
In the comment section.
Yes.
Come up with a name for our RPG.
Tweet us that one.
Yeah, tweet us that one.
If you tweet it, whoever is the best tweet, we're gonna read it on there.
Yeah, so we'll read you. Yeah, whoever gets the best name.
I've actually got backup Steam games that I can give away. Whoever comes up with the best fucking name that tweets it to us at the Gamegasm, we'll give you a Steam game. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll give you something cool. I may even let you pick from the litter that I have left.
Oh,
yeah, I'd say just hashtag. What is the hashtag for that?
Hashtag Gamegasm RPG.
There you go.
Boom.
Hashtag Gamegasm RPG.
Come up with a cool name. The name that we pick, you will win something. That might be our decision, might be yours. Fuck you. We'll
Twitter that shit.
We'll deal with it. Tweet us.
Yeah, hit up our Twitterists and we'll do it.
Play with our Twitterists. Anyway, that's on to the lightning round.
Oh, yeah, girl. It's time for the lightning round.
All right, welcome to the lightning round. This is the game show that we play, obviously, every time. If you've kept up with the podcast, this time I won last time.
You did.
You did.
In
bullshit
awesome
win.
In glorious fashion.
Yeah.
By being terrible, you won.
I got the shithead win. I'm
You
okay
get
with
a
that.
shithead win.
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay
don't
with
know if
that.
that's the official title yet or not, but we'll have to come up with one, like a crown for that. It won't happen often, but it's a big deal if it does.
Or maybe it does happen often. We don't even know yet.
Yeah, this is our fucking 4th episode. We have no fucking clue what's going to happen.
We're a month into the podcast.
We are.
That's
We
true.
broke our fucking month cherry.
I didn't even get you guys gifts.
I got you a gift later, baby.
Do you remember where we were a month from now? A month ago?
Where were we?
A month ago, I heard this song on the radio when I saw you guys.
Oh my god. Gleam in your eye.
So anyway, the first game we're going to play is Keep It in the Family. This is our category game. I'm not going to go through the rules now because by now you should fucking know it.
That's right.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Fuckers.
Okay.
I won.
You did. You keep saying that.
I
Like
did.
it matters.
I just want you guys to know. I won.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you because I have the asterisk next to your victory.
Who
oh,
won?
fucking speaking of asterisks, motherfucker, I want to bring up your first win.
Ah.
You shouldn't have rubbed that shit in because you won on TNC Surf Design. You got that extra point over me when there were no goddamn boomerangs in TNC Surf Design. I went back and looked, bitch.
Andrew still could have got that point though.
But he wouldn't.
We might have.
At that point-
Oh
No,
Andrew
I know.
had a good game last time.
No, I just.
Every dog has their day. I'm just
Hey.
kidding.
Hey. Okay, so bring us a category, baby.
This is going to be animals in video games, period. Not
Okay.
main
They
person.
don't have to be a playable character.
Well, they have to be a big part of the game.
Okay.
No Pokemon.
Oh well, that would we know like
Well,
three
I
Pokemon.
know.
But they're anamorphic anyway, and you get into some gray areas.
They're still animals.
And to be fair, none of us know enough. I know Pikachu.
Well, we could name
I know,
Pokemon
yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I think I know 3: Pikachu, Charizard, and Squirtle.
Blastoise, I guess, is a
Jigglypuff.
big part of Squirtle.
I haven't watched Pokemon.
Chansey, Goldeen.
We're just naming Pokemon that
Yeah,
won Smash.
that's all I
Brothers.
know.
Is Cockslap one? Because I don't know any of them.
What
Fucking
was the guy that
Pokemon.
fucking did the karate kick?
I know you gotta,
Hitmonlee.
Hitmonlee.
you
Yeah.
gotta catch
yeah.
them all. I know that much. I know more Chin Pokemon than I know actual. That's sad thing is I can name like
Shoe.
5 Chin Pokemon. Yeah.
Shoe.
Lantron.
Anyway,
Penguin. I
so
want
animals.
Penguin.
I'll start with just to be funny. I'll start with Simba.
Tails.
I'll go. You're a dick, but I'll go Sonic.
Knuckles.
I was gonna do Knuckles.
He was an echidna.
You know what? I want to bring this one out. It's early. I don't. Interceptor.
Oh, good.
From
Final
Final
Fantasy 3.
Yeah?
Is
that good enough?
Yeah, Shadows. Oh, that's
Shadows
perfect.
Dog.
Yeah, Shadows
We
Dog.
fought. I was
No, dude, that's totally
Okay,
legit.
all
Xylo.
I'll go Red 13, by the way, if you're going to throw out a Final Fantasy animal.
Okay. Claude.
Claude the
Birdman.
He is a bird.
Yeah, you know that's fine.
Birdman, right?
I'll go Balboroy. Also Birdman. We'll get all the Birdman out of the way.
We'll go Banjo.
Let's stick right with birds. Birdo.
That's like a
He's
alien
a fucking
thing.
bizarre, like a dinosaur, right?
That's a dinosaur enough.
Okay. Name's Birdo. I don't know.
All right, no, are we? I'm okay with Birdo.
Yeah.
We'll go Zitz.
Ooh.
How about Yoshi?
Well, it's a Koopa. A Koopa. They're a
It's a turtle.
turtle. Motherfuckers.
A turtle, you say? Oh God. Oh God. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I blank. The stare of doom.
The stare, the 1,000-yard stare.
Crash Bandicoot.
Well, you don't think of turtles. You should have named Donatello.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's the easy one.
So let's just go ahead and we'll say Michelangelo.
I was going to name
Raphael,
you. I just went to, Donatello's good enough.
Okay,
He's
so
my favorite anyway.
We're out of that. Let's go. This is a good one. Oh shit, I lost his name. I was talking Kazooie. I'll just say that just to get it out there. And I said Banjo already.
Oh God, there's something I missed. I'm so mad at myself now.
Did you ever say Crash Bandicoot? Did you ever say Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can't remember. What's that fucking raccoon guy? Fuck, I got nothing. I'm out.
Sly Cooper. That was my
Sly
next one.
Cooper. Fuck, I don't
Donkey
know why.
Kong.
Oh, how did we forget Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong. Are you
Oh my
fucking...
god, how did we forget Diddy Kong?
Oh my God,
That's
dude.
pretty brutal. We missed a lot of good people.
Conquer.
Conquer.
None of us said
Bedford,
Conquer.
Yeah.
King
yeah.
Dedede's a penguin, isn't he?
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Mouser.
Mouser.
Yeah.
Wow, we could have kept going for days.
God.
Well, you pick another category then?
No, we
Oh
were not
yeah, I
gonna do
forgot.
that.
Go right.
We'll go to you.
Okay, a category.
That was fun. I like
that
that.
was a
one.
really, really
That was
good
fun.
one.
I like that. I've been legit.
Okay, I got one. Games based on movies.
Oh, Jesus.
So I guess I'll start it off.
Yeah.
I'll do Chronicle of Riddick.
Lion King,
Back to the Future.
Jurassic Park.
Aladdin.
You just gonna go Disney movies?
First ones I'm fucking thinking of because there's so many good movie games.
Let's do. God damn it! I had one. Lost it.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Damn, that was it. You cocksucker.
Iron Man.
That's a good one.
There's an Iron Man video game.
I think there is.
You just said a fucking movie. I don't think there's an Iron Man
I
video game.
have no idea, so I
There's-
can't really say there isn't or is.
I think I'm gonna look it up.
All right, you do that.
I don't think there's an Iron Man video game.
There's got to be an Iron Man.
I'm sure Iron Man's like Marvel versus Capcom, but I don't
No,
count that as a
no.
movie game.
It's got to be a legitimate Iron Man.
You
game.
might be. I have no idea.
As soon as I said it, I was like, "There's got to. There is one," but I said it and then didn't have it to. Yep, yeah.
Oh, such
There's
a dick.
totally an Iron Man.
2008.
That's right.
All right. So,
I actually remember that picture. Though, to be fair.
That's the picture on every fucking.
No,
Iron
I
Man
remember
poster
that.
ever.
You son of a bitch.
Anyway, so Iron Man is legit. Came out in
Yes.
2008, even though that was a good guess.
Transformers.
Transformers had a lot of video games.
Yes, it did.
What's the Captain America and the Avengers?
That'll work.
Incredibles.
Huh?
The Incredibles.
The Simpsons. There was
Cars.
a Simpsons. God damn it. Little Nemo. There was a Little Nemo game.
What? Do I have to look this one up too?
There was a Little Nemo game.
Are you sure?
I'm about 95% sure on that
Just
one.
naming movies.
No, that's
I've never heard of it. There probably is.
I'll believe him. Hudson Hawk.
the
I have no clue what that is.
You can go look it up. It's a Nintendo game based off a Bruce Willis movie.
Wow.
based off of Bruce Top Gun.
That is a good one right
I
there.
fucking said it earlier. Why did I go out?
I don't know. Why didn't you? At that point, Demolition Man.
Oh, that was a good one.
I was going to say another one that I think there's a game of, but I'm not going to do it because I don't know for a fact there's a game of it. And,
Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was still saving my Ace No was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves on Nintendo.
I missed Lord of the Rings and I missed Pirates of the Caribbean. Damn it. So you won that point.
I did.
So it's 1-1. We move on to Devil's Advocate. This is our debate game. Again, we're not going to go over the rules. If you don't know it, fuck you. You win, so you come up with the debate first.
I look like I fucking wrote it down.
The mass debate.
The funny thing is, the reason it made me think of that category for movie games was because my category is a little movie based, or my fucking debate here.
Mm-hmm.
So, which movie would you guys rather make a game of?
Oh, I like this already.
But which movie would you? Okay, okay.
Which would you prefer to make a game of? What do you think would make a better game?
Okay,
if you could design it, however you'd want to design it.
However, okay.
The Big Lebowski or Basketball?
Basketball.
Oh God.
I think the premise is already set. Basketball's a sports game. The rules are already defined. You've got an amazing cast of characters. You could even slide South Park in there if you really needed to. It's already got teams. It's already got a bracket system, as diluted as it may be. It's a perfect storm for a comedy sports game that really doesn't exist yet. The thing I like about Basketball is that it would be completely innovative. There's nothing that would ever even compete with it, and there's nothing that would ever compete with it until Basketball 2K20 came out, or whatever year that basketball game happened to be released.
All right, now we were talking about earlier about things we want to make a video game out of. Storyline was the highest one, and I love Basketball. Basketball storyline was not amazing. Big Lebowski had a much better story than Basketball. Given it still wasn't the greatest story in there, but it was still a good story. Also, a very mature-oriented title, with a lot of people died in Big Lebowski. You didn't get Donnie back. I mean, I guess his ashes kind of got on you a little bit, but you didn't get it back. You also, Tara Reid, when she was hot, you put her in a video game. I mean, she's kind of a skank now, but you get her voiceover for this, and she's sound a little bit raspy. But I mean, you've also got big stars too. I mean, you got John Goodman, you've got Jeff Bridges, you've got Steve Buscemi. You get them to do voice acting for this. Oh my God, this sells itself.
Assuming there were no voice actors for Basketball, and you didn't say what kind of game it was.
Bring that shit up.
You didn't say what kind of game it was.
Doesn't matter. It's a game.
Okay, so obviously you took the very easy road of that game because it's a sports game. What I was really wanting out of the Big Lebowski is you make it into an adventure. I mean, that thing is like, not say point and click, but like a Myst or anything. You make it into an experience, like you could do that as an adventure game. That's what I was wanting, because if you make that into an adventure game where you're having to experience and do all that shit, that'd be a blast. Because you can easily insert fighting or stupid shit into it and make mini games out of everything.
That's true.
You know? That's what I was wanting out of it. But shut the fuck up, Donnie. Basketball gets the point.
Yeah. That was a T-ball.
That was good.
That was a good one, though.
Because I was thinking, I think in the end, that Big Lebowski actually probably would make a better game.
Wouldn't Basketball be fun to play in video game form?
It would be.
It'd be fun to play in real life.
You can't recreate the psych out. That's the whole mechanism of the game.
Problem.
That's the fault of the game.
I didn't touch on that on purpose.
I know. And that's the thing. It's a softball, but you can't recreate that. And because of that, it'd kind of be not that great of a system. You'd have to almost ignore that.
You have to do it on Kinect where you could get voice commands.
Because you said a sports game.
Did you see, by the way, on the Kinect where they gave you a technical foul for yelling "fuck" for the basketball game?
That's
yeah,
stupid.
you're like fuck.
It's kind of fun, but you need to be able to turn it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess is it me?
No, it's me because I won.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do something a little differently. Every single time we've always done, would you rather do this or this? Which is the best, this or this? It's a little different.
I'm going a different way with mine, too, a little bit, too. So,
which is more annoying or which is worse, however you want to look at it? Being hit by a blue shell and losing the race on the last lap of a Mario Kart race? Or the low-life heartbeat from Zelda?
Oh, I knew you were going with that one.
Oh, my God.
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, God. I don't even have to make that great of an argument for this. This is... You get down to that half heart in Zelda, and it is there until either you die, which is just bad in general, because if you die, then you have to go back and start all over again. But if you're sitting there at that low life for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half an hour, that is like the most brutal sign. And it's the exact same tone, and it doesn't stop at any point in time. It just goes. So then you become on the search for the heart, because the heart almost. It supersedes the quest that you're on. It takes you out of the storyline. You go, I don't care about Ganondorf at that moment. I care about finding that fucking half a heart. So that noise will shut the fuck up. And then you go get your... And also, you don't have your swords. You don't have your laser sword. So that you're trying to stab shit fucking close range. And the beeping sound, oh my God, dude. It throws me off my game constantly.
Okay. It's bad, I will admit. One, you don't have to start all over because you have save points. And... the thing about, I guess, the heart thing versus the Koopa shell thing is I can get into the fucking heart. If my buddy hits me with that blue shell and I lose because he's fucking probably last place, fucking blows at the game, and he just won on a fucking shitty technicality. The shittiest power in the fucking thing. Unlike anything else, I have to then sit there and watch him pass me and get small and get crushed by whoever, even though I'm better at it and I'm winning. I've now won after redo this whole fucking race. That is angering. Because, you know, and I think in all those racing games, you have to keep repeating the same damn course. I've already beat it. I was always first. I already won it. I can't repeat it. I can't go get an extra harder life. I just lose the fucking race, and he gets to win because he's a douche.
Oh, now this one is legitimately. We've had a lot where like Sonic and Tails. This I fucking hate both of these. They're both completely awful.
So bad.
Oh, I think I got to give the point to Andrew. One, the thing that I hated about that is that you were right. It took you out of the mindset of the game. That was the most infuriating part about it. This was like a 55-45 for me, honestly, because getting hit with the blue shell, the thing I hate most in video games is that it wasn't like when something like that happens, it wasn't my fault.
No skill.
It was completely no skill. It was an accident. You happened upon that. You hit a button, and I lose because of that. But the fact of the matter is that I think unanimously across the board in gaming, that's the one sound, the one thing that completely took you out of the game. I hated that so much. So you get the point.
Okay.
All right.
Andrew, we need your debate subject.
I've got an interesting one. This is a completely open-ended one. There's no winner because you guys will decide the winner on this one. I need you guys to sell me a game I don't have much experience with.
Okay.
Either Romance of the Three Kingdoms or Civilization.
Civ.
Okay, go for it.
Civilization is the history of the world. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is the history of China. Civilization, you don't know much about, which I guess you don't really know much about both, which is the point of the topic. Civilization is a game where you create an empire. Could be the American Empire if you want it to be. It's a civilization, obviously. You start from caveman times with clubs and arrows. Well, not arrows, obviously. You start with clubs, you wander around, and you beat up barbarians. You grow that into a budding civilization that has nuclear warheads. It takes the time to get there. You've got to go through creating allegiances with people, and they're people that you actually have heard of, not just, cream of some young guy that you don't fucking know who you're talking about. This is actually fucking like Stalin and shit. I mean, Stalin's not in the game, but, big names that you would know. Gandhi and George Washington and people like that. So you have more of a feel already like you're in the game. The good part about this is it's not just about war. Romance of Three Kingdoms, I usually find myself trying to best the next person. Civilization, I find myself more trying to, worry about my culture or my army or my gold, my happiness. There's a lot of different things that go into it, and I feel it's a more submersive and probably more accepted game in today's probably gaming industry.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of good aspects there. In a lot of ways, they share a lot of similarities. They're both very strategic. The thing about, I think, Civilization compared to Romance that not a lot of people might know as much or pertain to you is that there's a very serious, not serious, but there's definitely an RPG element to it where you actually play. You're not just playing this overlord who really serves no purpose. Whether it be Stalin, Gandhi, George Washington, they have no purpose. They're just a figurehead. You actually are Liu Bei or Guan Yu. You're somebody who actually has stats, abilities, and you have to use that person to the best of their ability. So you're actually taking a role of a lot of things, whether it be a counselor or a warrior or more of a politician. There's a lot of duels, too, both military and the later games, a lot of verbal duels. There's a lot of little mini-games where you actually have even more of a competition there. Honestly, I think the AI is awfully superior as well in Romance, especially the later ones. It's a much more difficult game. You don't just tweak the difficulty. The computer is actually making a more of a attempt to actually beat you. And yeah, it is just one area of China, but the game is just the same immense level as Civilization. There's not so much a breadth of technology, but there is a lot of breadth of things you can do and build up more of a small version of technology. At the end of the day, you do a lot of military. I'll agree with that. But you do a ton of economy. Without an economy, military means nothing. They're both strategic. I find that the warfare is vastly more strategic in Romance. There's no real strategic that much. Most of Civilizations, you're just who has bigger numbers. I'm going to push them into you. Congratulations.
I'll push something into you.
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to go with O'Brien on this.
Cocksucker!
And honestly, a lot of it, I think, was the fact that he got to go second. And
the fact that he said RPG.
He appealed to me more in the RPG aspect.
Why don't you suck his dick a little harder?
He said sell him a game. And I'm not making it up. It is completely accurate.
You're right.
I'm a Liu Bei fanboy because the RPG elements of being him is what made me like him since I was like 6.
Right.
And you gave me more of an overview, which is a good overview. It was a great overview, honestly. That the idea of being able to control my own group of people and do that on a larger scale. But he was kind of appealing to me on doing the exact same thing on a smaller scale. You're in China and doing that, as opposed to being America or...
Next time my argument's just going to be, it's a lot like Final Fantasy.
God damn it.
Hey, that's Guan Yu and mine.
Now I'm glad I didn't give you the point, you motherfucker.
All right, so what's the score?
At the halfway point, we've got a 2-2 for me and Jeremy, 1 for you.
All right. 1 for Andrew. So 2-2-1.
Very close game.
It is. We're moving on to Guess That Game, Jackass. Again, this is our game where we make you guess a game. You know the rules by now, I hope.
You jackass.
Yeah, you jackass. So you won. You shall go first.
This is okay. So the game is on multiple systems.
Okay.
It's
so
more
it's
of
a
current
series-ish
game.
kind of
Yes,
thing.
yes, on multiple systems. Okay. It is an FPS, and it's set in modern times.
Okay.
An FPS set in modern times, okay.
Every player has like a class or a role that you pick would select your guns or whatever you're doing.
Oh, God. I actually have to, like, move around my seat, because I don't...
I almost said something, but I stopped myself.
There's a couple out there.
I almost said something. No.
I know I'm at a distinct disadvantage in this, so I almost need to go. I almost have to go here.
Well, if you sack up, I'll give you the last one. If not, you're welcome to go.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay. You can use many vehicles, such as tanks, jets, helicopters.
Battlefield.
Correct.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't sack up.
I almost said Borderlands. I was this close to saying Borderlands.
I almost said Team Fortress.
Really?
Well, there was Borderlands, there's Team Fortress, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4. You're building a class, you have a role, and then select your guns, especially 3.
As soon as you said role, I almost said Borderlands.
Well, I picked...
That was a good
That was really good.
Okay.
Woo! I'm glad I didn't. I almost pulled the scrotum out.
Okay. I almost did, because you know more about FPS than I do.
Yeah.
So I almost just like,
it's one we've all played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This was a Nintendo game. The NES.
Okay.
Okay? First clue. It was the year prior to its release, was actually released on arcade.
Okay.
God. Okay.
Second clue. There was a character in the game named Scorpion.
Mortal Kombat.
Nintendo?
I don't know why I just said that. I just heard Scorpion. I had blinders on. I just heard Scorpion, like, fucking blinders.
I was like, wait a minute. He said, like...
as soon as I said it, I know it didn't sound right. I'm like...
When you said that, I was like, fuck, he got... Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. Because I know there was that silence and, like... Oh, God. I said...
Third clue. This is the game that popularized the Konami code.
Oh, Contra.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would have got it, yeah.
First 2 characters are Scorpion and Mad Dog.
Yep.
Are the only 2 characters.
I was thinking Mad Dog, because I think that's what you played if you're one player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tunnel vision, dude. I tunnel vision so hard.
It happens all the time
You're trying
in this
to be
game.
quick on it, and you're like, oh my god, that's the biggest clue ever. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because I almost feel like that, I mean, not a ton younger than you guys, but I'm a little younger than you guys. I have to go earlier because you
I want you to know, bear in mind that I try to pick games that all of us have will know. Because I don't want to cheat somebody else.
Well, no, but even so, I'm just like, I feel like I almost have to jump the gun a little bit, which is fine. It's
I wouldn't, like, pick a basketball game and it'd be NBA Hang Time. Because it's exactly like NBA Jam, but he may not have played it. You know what I mean? We played a ton of it. But anyway.
All right, my game it's on Xbox 360.
Oh,
we have 2 modern ones today.
Yeah, that's right. It can be classified several different ways. I would say probably most predominantly an RPG.
Okay.
This game belongs. Are we?
Oh yeah, that's not.
I know that's not a whole.
It might be an RPG. I'm not going.
It might be.
The game itself is part of a series.
Oh, God, I want to say something. I'm not going to.
A series of RPGs on the 360.
God,
I didn't say on 360.
Yeah, you did.
I said the game is on 360.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the game is part of a series.
That maybe not all.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. I can't guess.
Oh, the third clue. One of you has a YouTube series on them.
Borderlands.
Skyrim.
Oh, wow. When you said classified as kind of an RPG, that's a definite RPG.
You could go action adventure on it though too. It was kind of
You
my other
could not.
an action adventure RPG.
I'll fucking wow.
I don't think you could classify Borderlands as an RPG almost at all. Though. I mean, well, yeah, never mind with the talent trees.
I kind of Borderlands is an RPG that's also
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
first person.
Yeah, that's why when you said kind of an RPG, that's why I went Borderlands.
I guess that was a
Otherwise,
little
I would
bit
have
of-
said
I don't
yeah.
think Borderlands is any less of an RPG than Skyrim. I believe they're in the same vein.
Well, yeah, but as Borderlands is more of a first-person shooter than Skyrim is an action-adventure game. Anyway,
That's
I have no real.
I got fucked in the ass, but I'll take it like a man.
what is that? What 3-3-1 then?
Is it 3-3-1?
No, it's 4 for me, 3 for Jeremy, and 1 for you.
Okay. Forgot
Because you guessed one of the games. You guessed Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield.
I should've
All
guessed
right.
Battlefield.
We could. It's possible they could end another tiebreaker.
They
Pretty
could.
good. We could hit that bitch up again.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna bring out the app. The last game, A Link to the Last.
All
This
right.
is our link game where we have to go from one thing to the next. You win, so you go with the first link.
Okay. I don't know. Road Rash.
Chain Chomp.
Because of the chains in Road Rash?
Yes.
Oh, fuck me. Luigi? I mean, I could say anything I want in the Mario world, I guess.
Okay. Going Luigi. Tails. They're both number 2s.
Oh, good one.
Oh God. Xylo. Both animals.
Okay. Let's go with Wolfenstein.
Oh, nice play.
Because they're both wolves.
Well, they're not both wolves,
Well,
but
the-
wolf
Yeah,
and
wolf
yeah.
in it. Well, then, Doom.
Duke Nukem.
Can't do that.
Classic
Shooter, classic shooter, classic shooter.
Oh yeah. Alien vs Predator.
Huh?
They're aliens.
In Duke Nukem?
Yeah.
I guess.
Or no,
they're-
in Doom.
Yeah, Doom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said
Yeah,
I said Doom.
yeah.
They're fighting on Mars.
Okay. Let's just go. Let's go. Commando.
What?
All that time waiting, I was expecting something pretty epic. Because I'm like, man, I'm about to buzz you the
He's
whole
dying
time.
over here, by the way.
Whole time I'm like, we gotta buzz him because he's taking a fucking Fortnite.
Oh, it's so great. I don't know why he finds it so funny, but it's awesome that he's dying.
I find it funny because there is absolutely no link at all.
Okay, I was like, Commando, how the fuck does that fucking work?
There's guns.
So we're gonna go with Hudson Hawk because they're both movie games.
Why did I go with a fucking movie game?
I have no idea. That's what I was wondering.
Captain America and the Avengers because Hawkeye's in it.
Yep, I knew you were
Oh,
going
good
there.
one. So Captain America and Avengers, Iron Man. They're both comic book movies or games.
Oh God, what's the? I'll go the Superman because man in the title.
The super. Oh, okay, man. I see what you're saying. I'm like, how did I do that? So Superman. How about Super Mario Brothers?
Whoa, the Super Link.
Oh, I will do Big Boo.
So okay, Luigi's Mansion. There's Ghost in them.
there were ghosts in Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, I can't win now, you cocksucker.
I am sorry that you can't get another shithead win, but
hey, I don't want to hear it 1 point
That's
again.
all right.
Jesus Christ.
Haters gonna hate.
You could have said anything horror related because of ghosts.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was a good one.
That
I
was-
should have said Ghostbusters.
Damn it.
That was a movie game. We forgot to mention.
Jesus. You prick. All right,
God,
sorry.
the hate
I was gonna
throwing-
go. I was gonna go. There's a fucking like flying game that was Iron something like a dog
Iron
fight.
Skies.
Iron Skies, and that's why I was gonna go from Iron Man, but that was I didn't know the title, so I had to double off that pretty quick. So
Good call the man though. Because
Yeah.
all I was thinking about the comic book in the
Yeah.
zone. I was like, hey, that's title
that's,
related.
that's where I had to go.
Fuck that. I ain't afraid no ghosts. Ghostbusters.
Oh, is that where we're starting off?
We're starting off Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll go Big Boo again.
Okay, fine, I'll do it. Condemned, because ghosts are scary, and it's a scary game.
Manhunt. Both are got brutal murder.
Duck Hunt.
Oh, I love it.
I
love
that.
it.
How about DuckTales?
Woo! Chippendale Rescue
God,
Rangers.
that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna.
Chippendale.
Real band did that
Rescue
song.
Rangers. Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale.
Because of Dale?
Icewind Dale. That's a good one.
I'll go with Ymir.
Ooh, I like
Frost
that.
Giant.
Frost Giant, huh? Well, okay. Well, I don't know. Game. I'm gonna bow out. I was gonna say Thor because I thought they made a video game with Thor, but then I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. So fuck it.
So Ymir to you.
Ymir to me.
From an ice reference.
From an ice reference, so I'll just Xbalanque.
Because they're both in Smite.
Yes.
See, I was gonna do that. And I thought I couldn't. That was stupid of me. I could have just said Thor because of Smite, but I was saying something else. Ah, well.
Xevious, because they both start with X.
Oh, because Xbalanque was good. That was a good.
I tried to
You picked
pigeonhole
the good
you.
god.
I fucked myself though.
Oh, Xevious. Unless you played it.
I didn't play it, and that's my problem. I can't make a title reference. Fuck, I'm done.
You fucking won 5-4 again.
Can't help that.
Okay, so O'Brien wins. You will bring the retro game next time,
Yep.
and I hope you got a good one. Because I got a good one.
I need to keep in stock, that's for sure.
You fucker. Is this so? That's your
This is
third
third,
win
yeah.
out of 3. Out of 4.
Four, yeah. So you got 3.
I
and then
tied the
one.
one I didn't win.
Yeah. I've been close on your heels every time except for one.
That's cool.
I was close the one time, and then you won
did.
the fucking.
You're back to
thing.
your 1 point slump.
That's right. That's right.
You did.
Keeping it real.
But did you have an energy drink last week or something?
Apparently, yeah. I jerked it beforehand, so
Your mind was clear.
He was relaxed. He was just, I'm focused, man.
All right, so I won, albeit a shithead win, last week, and I thought, and unfortunately, you don't know much about this game, Andrew.
okay.
I want to talk about Civilization.
That's I had you try and sell it to me.
Way
You did, yeah. Way.
See, I don't even get that reference. I assume that's the sound of the game.
we worked at the store together, the one on the west side.
Uh-huh.
We used to play Civ 3 on a computer, and that had some really
Distinct music.
It had world music, like there was an African music, there was a Celtic sound, there was a Chinese
based
music.
on who you probably were
Yeah,
fighting
but it was
against
in,
or
it was
whatever.
in the beginning theme. They did this really robust, like Lady Smith, Black Mambazo, like African type music.
Okay.
So we would yell it at the top of our lungs, and we were so loud that the people next door could hear us.
And they actually called our regional manager and complained about it.
Oh, Scotty.
And then
That's
also
awesome.
multiple times had came over to the store to ask us to quiet down.
Did you guys lie about it and tell them it was somebody else? Or
Yeah, that was totally as a
Because at the
customer.
time we
They
were
were on
playing
meth.
Office Olympics, that was the one that we really got in
Oh
trouble.
yeah, Office Olympics. We had a roll of
Sheet
receipt
paper.
tape,
Uh-huh.
and we were banking it into a trash can
Off of a filing cabinet.
off of the filing cabinet that was touching
I remember the story.
the shared wall
And
between
we
the
were
two
30
stores.
feet away.
And it was like, I mean, it was echoing through the store.
It was brutal.
That's awesome.
We
But
said
anyway,
we were trying to
You
repair
guys were
something.
model employees over there.
We were.
We actually did well,
Yeah.
considering.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Civilization. And when I say Civilization, I don't have one in mind. I've played all of them. And all of them I remember in some way or
Did
another.
you play a lot of one?
I did. I played a lot of
I know
one
you
by
played
myself, but I hated it.
Really?
I just didn't find it fun.
It's a different time.
Yeah, and it was a
94
different style
world.
of game almost.
And it was the first real 4X
Yeah.
style game. Not the first, but one of.
For those who don't know, for those who do know, you probably know Civ 4, Civ 5.
Yeah.
It's a completely different game than it used to be.
2
It's
kind of
all-
blew it up.
It's all the same premise, but they've expanded so much. And we've talked about it in previous episodes.
Yeah.
We talked about Hot Seat and sitting next to each other and that being one of our nostalgic things when we talked about the multiplayer topic. Civ, to me, is always going to be one of those games that I will return to once a year. A minimum. If I don't play it multiple times. If one of you came to my house and said, do you want to play some Civ? I'd be like, yes, I do.
Infinitely replayable.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
You're never, ever out of options. Because, as we said in the debate game, there are all these leaders that you know. And it's cool to pit George Washington against Gandhi.
Because they have different purposes.
And Gandhi's a cocksucker in every game. He will turn on you no matter what.
Really?
I had a bad chance with Gandhi.
I just don't like
his strategies.
Every game I've ever played, he and I could be accomplices from the day one. And as soon as it's right for him to attack me, he will. He'll break that alliance and he'll fucking attack me.
That's part of the weak part. The one thing I always about Sid, the AI could be better.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't, to me, seem right that Gandhi is the person who turns on you.
It does, right?
He secretly was. When he was spinning his own clothes and yarn, he was hatching his fucking
He's fucking
plan.
fasting over there. He's like, oh, I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah. Give me a good solid meal and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point being is that it's one of those games where it's not like... I love Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And you couldn't have had a better argument because you pitted the one thing that Romance has over Civ in that the leader, the generals, matter.
Yes.
In Civ, they don't, but you take on the role as George Washington. So you feel like you're that person.
And until 5, the war... I think 5 fixed a lot of the problems with the combat system.
5 fixed a lot of the cheap shit you could do.
The latest expansion on 5 fixed a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But point being is that, again, it's one of those games that I will never not have fun playing it. Because, like you said, infinite replayability. And every leader has their own different units, has their own different ways that they like to run their country. Each one of the gods, each one of the
let's mind the brain.
Yeah, each one of the leaders completely decides the way you play. Not completely, but you want to play that way because it plays to your benefit.
It's more conducive to do that way. So
absolutely,
it's like if you're good at magic and something, you don't want to start going the melee way.
You don't want to pick a sword and shield and go.
I guess that way is a little bit, not say RPG-esque, but you can kind of there are guys you gravitate to.
Yeah, your play style.
Yes.
I've always been more of a... I don't like war. I've always been a cultural or scientific...
Which is weird because you're usually fairly aggressive in games,
yeah.
too.
So I've always been the cultural or scientific type person, whereas you always know the power of a good army, and you're always prepared. I'm not. Half the time when I play Civ, I'll be like, oh shit, I'm fucking 3,000 years in, I have nothing for an army, and then next turn it's like, 4 fucking Civs have declared war on you.
That's partly playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
In multiplayer, it is a cutthroat. And that's one thing that's kind of cool about it. It's cutthroat. It's all about army, military. Now, I usually play like you. I prefer to win. Scientifically, I want to explore every part of the tree. Because the trees, talking about development, there's a lot of trees in it. That's really what you're doing, the whole technology tree. Everything you're developing, every building, upgrades, things like that, which is really kind of cool.
I've seen a little bit of that.
And if you don't know about it, I mean, you start with, like, pottery. And you're ending with, like, fucking nuclear warheads and...
4,000 BC to, depending on which game, a little over 2,000. Except there's one called Civilization Call to Power, which actually was made by Activision, wasn't made by Sid Meier. And that one went to, like... We were joking earlier, get the people on the tubes. Yeah. You can build these mag tubes to give, like... You can move, like, 20 squares instantly. You can build cities on the bottom of the ocean floor, cities in space.
That sounds actually kind of cool.
It was fucking awesome. A lot of people didn't like it because it was a little bit different interface, but it was... You still start on 4,000, but there was so much more detail.
4,000 BC.
4,000 BC, same as always. And then it's like more like into 3,000 times. So it's kind of cool to advance the technology, what they did, because they had a lot of really cool stuff.
Civ to me is... It's weird. I find myself, even though I don't like to play as a... Civ Revolutions, the one they had out for 360.
Yeah, did you...
What's that one? Did you play Civ Revolutions?
I thought we did.
I played a little bit. I think I played. There was an app that was Civ had. I think I played a little bit of that. I think I pirated it when I hacked my iPad or whatever.
Oh, you're going to jail.
That's right.
NSA. Pull this motherfucker over.
And don't blame Civ on that fucking thing. Not that Civ Revolutions was a bad game. It was just very arcadey and sped it all up.
And that's what I was getting ready to say.
Well, no, I didn't play a lot of it, and what I played, I enjoyed. I mean, I wasn't as hardcore. I mean, I played seriously probably 2 or 3 games.
It sped it up, and military was by far the most important thing.
It was all that mattered.
You couldn't win without military, period.
Even defensively, it was difficult.
Yeah. So you had to have an offensive game.
There were some cool points of it, though. Like the way the terrain, certain tiles were really cool. But the thing I like about Civ, like you said, like playing infinitely, the map is all randomized.
Yeah,
so all your resources are completely different. And how you monitor them and where you build your cities. And that dictates how you're going to play the whole game sometimes. Will you be cultural or not? Do you have incense near you? Do you have iron close?
And you might play a desert stage or a desert map one time where incense and oil's all over the place, but you're not going to get any of the stuff that you find in hills like iron or, any of the other things that you could find elsewhere. You won't find, rubber in the jungle? It sounds like a fucking rap band. Or
Well,
rap
on the
group or
newest
something.
expansion, Brazil can build a rubber factory on a jungle.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. But
I play way
Yes,
too much Civ.
yeah.
you are like the Civil. Oh, that's another thing. The Civilopedia. There's not a game in the world that has
a better fucking interface menu than inside of
and
it.
it's not even just the interface. It's the fact of it is a game guide. It's like buying a $40 game guide, and it's included in the game.
Yeah, everything's in there. Every guy, every straight in their background. It's
That's
like
awesome.
it's like if Smite could really beef up their lore and have 10 pages of it.
And explain why this person has this ability, or that kind of stuff.
That's neat.
And it's if you
It's
want
like it tells you why George Washington can do the things he can do as far as game related.
It explains
Exactly.
it. And not only that,
Why Gandhi is a cocksucker and turns on you all the time.
what doesn't explain that?
I know. What the hell?
Why you can also look up Germany, they get Panzer tanks.
Well, that makes
Now-
sense. They're fucking Germany.
And you can look up the difference between, if I want to play as America, they have regular tanks. What's the difference between a regular tank and a Panzer tank? And it tells you that. And you can look that up on the fly in the middle of the game or before you start the game. And you can always know what is going to be around the
So
bin.
if you take your American tanks against the Panzer tanks, you may not
They're
know
gonna
any
get
better.
fucked.
They're going to get fucked
Yeah,
up.
Panzer
because-
tanks are faster.
Yeah, they're faster, but the point of the matter is they can get to the battle and they can be
They're
produced.
a lot more maneuverable.
So they're easier to swarm, like the Germans were in World War II. I mean, it's all about playing to your strengths, and it's always fun to play a random civ
Oh, we do that all the time.
because it forces you to play a way that you might
you
not.
might not want to. It's almost once again that's almost like an like you ever play like you see these strategy games that are played. People play from different perspective. Like I'm going to play this really aggressive, or I'm going to play it this way or that way. It kind of lets you do something where you may play out of your norms.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that you don't find. Because I'm sure at some point there's that, like George Washington or whoever it is, ends up being a little bit better on the min-max scale or whatever. And then if you were to play online, probably a lot of people are going to gravitate towards
Yeah, they're definitely min-max guys.
three
Oh,
or
yeah.
four.
By
people-
turn blank, you need to have blank put out.
Exactly, and if you're playing with a random, then it makes you go, okay, I may not have the most powerful general, but at the same time, I can compensate for his strengths, or I can play it more or compensate or play more towards his strengths, compensate for his weaknesses.
And another cool thing about it is when you do play co-op, you can also pit two bots on a team together against you. So you could have 12 civilizations in the map or the game, and it could be actually 6 teams of 2.
And that's what makes it fun when you're playing together.
And
That's awesome.
and they all play. They share resources. They do things together, and it's actually they try to beat you as 2 people instead of just playing it a cheap way, where say we're gonna make a fake allegiance, in our heads,
Yeah.
and then just steamroll 10 other teams.
But you pull resources, so like if you guys both have your cities and so your resources are being pulled. So if like
you
somebody's
don't
attacking,
pull resources.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. That's
no,
why,
I mean
that's why I said
you
that.
you fight together.
Yeah,
Maybe I said
we
it. I said it the
we
wrong
can
way.
trade iron or things like that, which in the game are resources, but he doesn't get like my food
I
or
thought,
my
yeah,
money.
okay, that was
my
what I was
money,
saying
yeah.
because
I
like,
can
if,
give you money.
Yeah.
If you were like if O'Brien was being attacked, then you could go, okay, we're going to produce army at O'Brien's place as opposed
No,
to
I can
okay.
give him money, and he can use that to produce army.
Or he can send his army.
Or I can send my troops.
Okay.
But I can't produce
That was
troops
my
out of
question.
his cities.
That was my question.
But yeah, I mean that's again, co-op is the one thing that I love about it, is because you literally have to work together. When you play on the difficulties that we play on, and I know you play on Deity and stuff sometimes, but we play on Warlord or
a lot of the king or emperor. The thing,
Yeah.
the problem
Are those the harder difficulties? I assume?
Warlord's the average one, isn't it?
Warlord is average.
Oh yeah, we play on King.
Because
and-
Warlord
or
to me
Emperor.
sounds like very high up there on the difficulty.
Yeah,
I don't have any
It's-
concept of the scale.
It's average.
It's average.
Yeah. There's Warlord, and there's
I guess I've got the
King.
Warlord penis then. So
Heyo.
I think it's actually Warlord, Prince, King, Emperor, then Immortal, then Deity. Deity
We always
is
played on the one below Immortal when we played.
which would be Emperor,
Okay, we played on Emperor.
which is Deity is just brutal.
It's not brutal. It's Oblivion brutal. It's the stupid kind of, let's give them 10,000 more gold than you. They can produce units way faster.
So
They
it's
can
not-
research. They can research.
Remember we had that conversation about
technologies.
we didn't like AI.
Yeah,
This is sadly, I will say,
it's a terrible
scaling is
way to do
terrible.
it. Terrible way to do it.
okay.
They should make them more sneaky. They should make them maybe
Smarter.
where they would,
Not
try to
just saying
steal your
units at you.
resources and stuff like that.
Or maybe make calculations that you can't make on the fly. They're like, well, if I make this, 7 turns down the line, where you might
Right.
be only thinking 1 or 2 turns, it's a computer, so it should be able to think a little further ahead of you on the higher difficulties. That would make sense. But if they give it 10,000 more gold, then that's just like, hey, fuck you, I'm making everything ever.
It's
suck a
really the
dick.
science. That's what
yeah,
kills you.
Yeah,
They're-
there'll be 20 technologies ahead of you.
and at that point,
Oh.
it doesn't matter. You may have knights, and they have fucking Civil War infantrymen.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter how good your knight is, you have to have 5 to kill 1, and it steamrolls. So if they're going to be really aggressive on you, the only way to win in the higher levels is to be
play like a bitch.
So aggressive,
Yeah.
it's retarded.
Play like a bitch and start attacking them day one.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, it's
And even then, you don't necessarily win. You have to have I beat DD4. You have to almost have a strategy with it going in, and you stick to it regardless. But the problem is, like with 2, when we play together, we can actually play a higher difficulty level and balance it out because the computer is smart but stupid.
Okay. But it's a fault of the AI. It's not.
It is.
But you have to play against that, which, again, we go back to higher difficulties. You're having to play against the AI and play against the way... Like, with Skyrim or Oblivion, you jump on a rock. None of the enemies can jump. So you just stand there and stab them with your sword or shoot them with your bow until they die, but it takes 20 arrows instead of 5.
Yeah.
That's how this is. We have to team together. If I've got 2 incense and he's got 2 spices, we each trade 1. We gain extra happiness from having all those bonus types of things.
I'd be happy if I had a lot of bananas, just generally. I like bananas.
I like bananas. They're like an energy bar
Yeah.
in fruit form.
And they're shaped like a dick, so they go right in my butt.
Or-
I mean...
I like to eat them all in one bite. I just shove it down my
Just
throat.
deep throat it.
Yeah.
Chewing is overrated. Just shove that shit down there.
That's what I do.
Get the nutrients in you. I mean, it's such a good game. And just saying, like, historically, there weren't that many 4X games. There was one, like Master of the
4X.
Magic.
What's 4X?
Explore, expand. Exterminate.
Exterminate.
That's only 3 X's.
I know. I just realized it's a 4X.
Expunge.
No,
You just made a porno. Is what you've just done.
yeah. Well, in my dreams. No. It's
'Cause I mean, I wasn't asking. I don't know what the 4X is.
if you hadn't asked me, if I could answer, it's I can't it's explore, expand, exterminate. But there's a one before explore. Exist. or
Exercise.
Expedia.com.
something.
It doesn't matter. You know what we mean. But the thing that you've put him on the spot, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm fucking
I know,
angry
that's
now.
right.
I'm gonna fucking find out
He's
while we're
Googling it.
talking. Fuck yeah, I am. Fuck this shit. I know this thing. I said 4X like I'm not retarded, but I'm like,
Well,
oh,
I didn't know
yeah.
if you meant like it was like a type of. Like,
It is a
specific-
genre of game. Every game that's a strategy game that you're really trying to make. Yes, I'm looking at reading.
He's googling. He's losing train of thought.
What the fuck? Exploit. No wonder I
Exploit.
fucking forgot. It's a gay one.
Yeah.
Because to me that counts as expand. Guys, that picture of the original civilization. How terrible is
You
the
start
graphics
with
on that game?
start with like a fucking covered wagon.
Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate.
Okay, that explains it.
The thing is, it's given now. You're just like, oh, that's a strategy game.
What-
That's a strategy game.
And
But
you know
it
what?
wasn't like that once upon a time. You had to have that.
And this is the one game that I will give credit to Sid Meier and the whole
Oh, God, he's a
Civilization team.
badass.
The one game that I can think of off the top of my head that although it's not necessarily multiplayer, even the single player is extremely balanced.
Yeah.
I mean, playing no unit feels overpowered. You don't ever play just Germany because of blank.
No.
Everybody's got their own benefit. You know, like the English are always good on the sea. They're always good with boats and stuff.
Which I hate.
Yeah, but if you play on a small map with a lot of islands, they would obviously have an advantage. On a big map where it's one continent, they would obviously be at a disadvantage.
Well, and that's something that they deserve. You just give them props for it. And I think that's something that you deserve props on because, and we've played a lot of games that are viable either PvE and PvP or online and offline, and those two things are hard to balance. It's hard to balance a single player game and then also use the same system and balance it towards a multiplayer game.
And it's seamless.
Or a PvP environment and a PvE environment, a la WoW or something like that. It's hard. It's a hard balance to maintain.
And how many of those games have a PvE environment that's completely different from the PvP environment, and they do that because they have to balance it?
Yeah.
Like WoW.
WoW's a great example
Yeah,
of that.
you have world PvP, but it's not the same thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
Most
think
of your
camping
PvP is
is.
in arena. Yeah, I'm in fucking
South Shore, bitch.
Greece and
South
shit,
Shore.
yeah.
Suck a dick, South Shore. Please
Forsaken.
fuck your shit up for the horde.
Yeah, I'm in, like, fucking for the horde. With Civ, you can't necessarily do that because everybody's got their strength in some way.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good game.
It's a great game. And that's one that you can actually go play, go get it on Steam, and not get it too bad. It's not too hard to fucking
nice.
grab.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note, we'll go over the upcoming games. Are we good? We wrapping it up?
And we're done.
Yeah. All right. We'll see
shit
you. We'll
coming
see you.
out.
We'll see you next time, guys.
The upcoming games is really just a bunch of games that nobody cares about or have already supposed to have been released or were announced for 2013 that haven't yet come out.
Yeah, wait
Yeah.
for spring.
Yeah, we'll see in March.
So we'll still keep the segment. I mean, we'll do it for the sake of doing it, but you might just hear dead silence for a while.
Yeah. There might be something coming out in January.
Okay.
We'll hope. We'll see.
I can't think of anything. Stick of Truth is the first game I know of that's come. That's like a largely expected.
Usually come out like March, or usually games pick back
and
up.
that is,
again,
I believe that is March.
So
Or at
hold
least
out till
announce
then.
that.
And
That's
Smite is releasing March 25th.
Yeah,
That's
Finally, after the 2-year beta.
master beta.
What year closed beta, year open beta, and then
Pretty intense stuff.
then there's like another year of post beta.
When it's open, I know it's not released, but I just consider that released.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, all right.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. And we will see you next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Not
that's so
next
far
week.
away.
We'll see you next year.
Ooh.
I guess it's still technically next
In
week.
a week.
Yeah, in a week.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on the Gamegasm podcast.